Did you ever watch Risky Business?
No.
I watched Risky Business during quarantine. Do you know what that movie's about? Tell me the plot of Risky Business.
Dancing?
No.
Okay, I know nothing about Risky Business.
So Risky Business is about Tom Cruise hiring a prostitute who steals his money. Mm-hmm. So he goes into business of they use his parents' house as a brothel, and he makes money being a pimp until her pimp gets mad and steals everything, and that's Joey Pants.
So you're saying I should watch Risky Business?
I mean...
Is it, like, good? Watchable?
They ain't making movies like that anymore. I'll tell you that much.
God.
Oh.
There's a long list of movies that will never be made again.
Yeah.
That
like
can't be made.
The first 15 Marvel movies.
You can easily make that movie.
Yeah, they're making the same one over and over again anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Those movies suck.
Superhero anything is garbage.
I would take Risky Business over every Marvel movie.
Even Ant-Man?
Yeah, probably. Because even Ant-Man had that smooth sheen of corporate on it.
What about Thor 2? He fights the Dark Elf.
You know?
Idris Elba.
I'm coming around to that.
Yeah.
No.
Idris Elba
fuck
was
that.
in that movie?
Yeah, he's in all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the sword guy, right?
Yes, Heimdall. His name was Heimdall.
Sorry.
I hate myself sometimes.
Yeah, you should.
Hello, Thor. Welcome back to Thor's house. What was it called?
Captain America throws his mighty shield, and everyone who meets his shield must yield. Go back to that Marvel. Go back to the Silver Age. Everyone's wearing just like every superhero is just a guy in a tight-fitting clothes and a hard hat with wings on it.
They get strapped to a rocket. God, let's watch the old Captain America movies. They got to be bad, right?
Yeah, I've never seen the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. Have you?
We've seen clips.
Yeah, I've seen clips. Everyone's seen clips.
We should watch it. I bet it's super good.
You know what? This is going to turn into the summer of movies where arms get really long. Because I'll watch that, and I'll watch like Freddy, the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's very good.
The arms getting long in that movie is hilarious. It's the best part.
It's
aside from Johnny Depp.
There's some striking imagery in that movie. I will give it that. They can't tell you their names. They can't tell you where they live. But in the mid to late 90s, these 5 teenagers can turn into animals to fight an invading army of evil brain slugs. 5 dumb teens are the only thing standing in the way of complete annihilation. This is Anamorphing Time with Nate and Tyler. Get your hand off my girlfriend, you yerk-brained bastard!
This is for Daddy. Make it like half the bottle.
Catherine Alice Applegate wouldn't want this. Doesn't want this. Blah, 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 blah.
And like they're like, no, stop shooting at children.
Oh man, being 12 was weird.
Have you ever gone on a diet where you cut out sugar? Mm-hmm. And you have like really big like sugar cravings? Have you ever eaten an antacid as like a little dessert as a treat?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely, I have.
Because this one's pineapple flavored and it's real good.
Well, it's sometimes you get on that no sugar diet and you're like, oh, my throat kind of hurts. Oh, I have no choice but to have this cherry cough drop.
It's the only way. It's medicine.
Mentholated, delicious. Well, yes, I think I'll have a Ricola as second dessert.
Put it in a soda.
Oh, yeah.
It's no good. You ever have a Necco wafer?
Don't say that word.
Necco wafer?
Ah, you said it again. Yes, those things are trash.
Yeah, they're...
The only ones I liked were the ones that were slightly root beer flavored, and everybody hated that.
It's a primal Smartie. It's like a Smartie that's thinner and harder. It's a sugar cracker.
So primal means thinner and harder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, like it's the Smartie is a descendant of the Necco wafer.
Oh.
Oh wait, what's Sixlets?
Oh, Sixlets are the shit.
Why did it go away? Why are people not remembering Sixlets?
They are still around. You can find them at Fred Meyer.
Can you get like a big bag of them, or can you only get them in like the tube?
It's the carton. They have a carton of Sixlets you can just drink from. You just pour a nice tall glass of Sixlets.
Candy coming in carton is the best shit. Them and like Whoppers.
Yeah, Milk Duds. Yeah,
Robin's eggs.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can get robin's eggs in a carton. Are you a fan of the robin egg?
You know, I like every candy. Like, I'll eat any of that shit.
You know, who's a huge fan of the robin's egg?
Who?
Our boy Tobias.
Oh, he is a big fan.
Actually, no, birds don't eat eggs.
I mean, solid transition. I mean, good try, man.
But wait, that transition was stupid. Birds don't do that.
That was very good. You know what a bird's favorite food is? Other bird. Welcome to Anamorphin Time.
Well, we should lead off. We don't have animal facts for this one, do we?
No, because it's another hawk.
It's another hawk.
And at one point, a raccoon is morphed, but there's a book later where the raccoon is the central morph. So I didn't feel good about it.
Is this going to happen a lot? Are we going to have the same cover for multiple books?
No. This doesn't happen very often, no.
Okay.
No.
Well, I think this might be the last hawk book for reasons I will get to at the end. It's a great cliffhanger. You don't know where that's going. What's going to happen to Tobias?
We know what's going to happen to Tobias.
I mean, in the end, yes.
Yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, welcome to Anamorphin Time.
Welcome to Anamorphin Time.
With Nate and Tyler.
With Nate.
That's Nate.
And Tyler.
That's me. I'm Tyler. Me.
And this is book number 13.
13, The Change.
Episode 14, because Megamorphs fucked everything up.
We gotta stop. Let's just erase it from history. It'll still be out there.
Episode 14, book 13 of Anamorphin Time.
And the tagline on this is, Be Afraid.
Wait.
You don't have a tagline? It says, Be Afraid.
No. Why am I afraid?
Because you should be afraid. It's good life advice. Be afraid.
But, there's nothing to be afraid about in this book. What am I afraid of?
God? Anger at God? What God's wrath will do to you? Aliens.
I should be very afraid of aliens.
Losing your wife.
Losing my religion. Trying to keep.
I'm here in the... I don't remember. That's me in the spotlight.
You know what we should do?
Jim Carrey's Andy guy. What's his name? Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. You know what we should do?
What?
For all these intros, cut them up like the Suicide Squad movie, where it's just a long string of us mentioning us just mentioning a song and then playing a little bit of that song.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, this is real. Baby's got back. Baby got back. Now it's time to Footloose. Now I gotta cut loose, Footloose.
Well, it was nice to see Cassie run away
from that 7-nation army.
Oh, I was going to say she couldn't really do it till she put her ass into it, but yeah, yours is better.
Because this one does have a 7-nation army, really.
When? Where? What? Who? Wow.
There's a whole army. They bring out a whole army to get our...
Bomb, 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 bomb,
yeah.
Bomb,
bomb, bomb, bomb, bomb, bomb, Franz Ferdinand. And play some Franz Ferdinand right here.
So if you're lonely...
Man... New podcast idea: mashups with Animorphs.
I mean, what is
Mashamorphs?
What is an Animorph? Is not like a mashup between child and beast.
I don't. Let's make a new rule.
Okay,
we're gonna go a little Bill Maher style. Whom we hate, enemy of the pod.
Yeah, non-Shorm. What's that enemy?
He's a controller.
No, he's a voluntary controller.
Yeah, he's a collaborator.
He's a collaborator.
New rule. Okay, is that a good Bill Maher?
Sure.
I even forgot what the new rule was. Okay, new rule. We got it. Here we go.
He's gonna call you a cracker, and man, that's the same as saying the other word,
which he also likes to say a lot.
Ooh.
No more mashing up children. That's the new rule. We're not.
Tell that to a Visser 3.
No, no more mashing up children. Just for me, please. Should we talk about the cover, then open our burr?
Oh, I think we should definitely talk about this cover. So yeah, stark young man.
So
in a mustard sweater.
Yes.
Looking off into the distance like a dream gone by.
With his arms out.
With his arms wide open.
With arms wide open under the sunlight.
With arms arms wide open.
We can't do this.
Okay, we found the bit for this episode.
No, we did not.
Here's-
it's only for the beginning.
No, here's what we're going to do. In like 40 minutes, I'm going to be sitting on this one, and I'll be like, Nate, you know what?
What's that?
And you'll be like, what? Like you just said? And I'll say, it's been a while since we've quoted music.
It's okay, because if you play only like a little bit, they can't see you.
Yeah, they can't get me. Come get me, Stained.
Yeah, guess what? We're recontextualizing it, and it's art now.
It's called fair use, bitch.
Come get at me. I'm not going to say the Metallica song. They'll get us.
Yeah, then we'll get it. Hey, Lars Ulrich, come suck my pathetic little dick.
Oh, you can say that.
Yeah.
That's the thing you can say.
Hey, James Hatfield.
Yeah.
Why don't you lick my gaping bunghole?
Hey, Mr. Metallica, why don't you end tonight? Okay, enough of this. We got to talk about our bird boy.
It's Tobias with his arms out. And now that we've interviewed the artist who does the covers, Mr. David Mattingly.
That's like 10 episodes from now.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it
But
does.
no, now that he said that he got to pick how the models stood and how he photographed them to try to make them do better looking morphs, Tobias has got his arms out because those are bird wings.
Yeah, it's going to turn right into a bird wing. That makes sense. It fits.
He's a smart guy.
He's a smart dude.
So we're back in the mind of our sad bird boy, Tobias.
Yep. And the inside cover really portrays this is going to be a sad book.
So when you saw this, did you think that was Jake?
No, because I knew that this was a Tobias book. Mm-hmm. Tobias looks like Jake, and it's really upsetting.
Yeah, on the book covers anyway, which is fine.
Well, he's described a little bit like Jake. Jake's blonde, right?
No, Tobias is the only blonde one. Tobias and Rachel are blonde. Yeah, the two Aryans get together.
Yeah. Well, this kid's not blonde.
No.
This kid, he clearly has brown hair. Correction to David Mattingly. It turns out that your covers are inaccurate.
Well,
he's clearly brown haired when he should be blonde.
You remember what he said? He said that a book cover, for the most part, is there to sell books.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't remain 100% pure to that author's vision.
And to be clear, somebody who's like sandy, like blonde, real weird looking.
Yeah, they're fucking weird.
Any blondies out there, log off.
Yeah, like if you're a blonde guy,
why don't you go to Midsummer and have a sex and then a burn house?
So, to celebrate our sad bird boy here, we got a growler of beer.
I do want to talk about the cover. We can't ignore the inside cover.
No,
because the inside cover is I think one of my favorite covers. It's only behind stuck gorilla in an alleyway.
Yeah,
with the Marco book.
Or bear, tiger, and gorilla in elevator. That's a pretty good.
No,
one.
this one's better than that.
I agree.
This one actually has like a nice story and message behind it. Mm-hmm. So it's Tobias sitting on his bed, looking at Tobias in bird form
with his wings out,
and a full moon kind of lighting the night sky, and he's just like looking at him with this like really nice expression. I think I would have this on a poster and sell it as like this is a cool thing to have on a wall.
Yeah, it's cryptic. Like there's a lot of good imagery there if you're a fan of the books.
It's enticing. I want to know what happens. And why is Tobias looking at himself?
Well, all the characters will usually...
Which one is Tobias? Is Tobias the boy or is Tobias the bird?
Oh, no. Yeah. The central... The crux of this book, you found it.
Right, yeah, it's right there in the cover.
You fucking found it.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
Because I don't know how to genuinely give you credit for anything because of the ironic detachment of years of systemic and ritualistic abuse and neglect.
Yeah, whatever.
Fucking, you gay?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gay for saying that.
Yeah.
I'm gay. We have beer.
So what's this beer?
Tell me about this beer. So this is from Santiam from Salem.
Carlos Santanum.
It's gonna go down smooth.
No.
My little Mona Lisa. That's the worst fucking song in the world. Rob Thomas and Santana Smooth. Name a worse song.
You know what? It is the Men in Black 2 of songs.
Wrong.
In that, like, I can't really recall what it is, but I know that it exists.
No, it's still not the worst song. The worst song, unfortunately, is the theme for Triumph of the Will.
It didn't have a song.
Oh, someone's Mr. Expert on Nazi propaganda movies. Checkmate.
I have
Checkmate.
I have a film degree. It's right there on the wall.
Yeah,
they made me watch it.
Those Oregon Ducks sat you down and said, "Watch this."
Yeah, and then they made me. Oh God, what was the D.W. Griffith movie?
Birth of a Nation.
Why did I remember D.W. Griffith and not Birth of a Nation? How did that calculus happen?
You've studied the masters. You have seen all 6 hours of Intolerance.
God, you know what's funny is that exact thing could happen today, where somebody makes a super racist movie and then has a "whoops, I'm sorry" movie to follow right after it.
It's like, oh, sorry about me killing all the black people.
How about this Intolerance movie? That was maybe I should be more tolerant.
Look, part of it's Jesus, so you know it's good. It's fine.
Just mixing a little bit of Jesus.
So we got a Santa Am toasted marshmallow porter.
Ooh, toasted marshmallow?
That's what they said.
Okay.
I have yet to have it.
You know, I have graham crackers if you want a little graham cracker to snack on while we have ourselves a little toasted marshmallow. I have some, also I have some mini eggs, so we can make like a little graham cracker.
A little Cadbury mini egg.
A little s'more. Give me some more.
Look at that. That's a hefty pour. Minimal head. Carbonation. Looks good. Sorry, listeners, if I was facing away from the mic. I was pouring beer.
So I have a prediction before we taste this beer. I want to get this out of my head.
Okay. Please let everything out real quick.
Just let everything out. I bet you, since time travel has already been established, Tobias is going to go back in time, and he's going to be the Egyptian god Ra. He's going to be their bird god.
I say nothing.
Which means it's going to happen.
It's so. Did you?
No,
did you?
I have not spoiled myself on anything about this.
No,
this is not me.
You really haven't. But did you catch the throwaway line in this book about time travel?
No.
Where he's like,
yeah.
I have stared down the Yeerk army. I've traveled through time. I'm the baddest ass. And we haven't done the time travel story yet. That's the second Megamorphs.
No, he has done time travel.
When?
He did it when the Ellimist took him into the future.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
Time travel also means forward, as well as back.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right?
Well, sorry, all fans of this podcast. The Animorphs expert here just got
owned.
Got fucking wrecked.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to put out a YouTube video. Dorky liberal podcaster gets wrecked.
Oh, that's good beer, though.
Oh, no, this is real good beer.
This is so good. I was telling someone about this beer, and she said it was a hoity-toity dessert beer. It's fucking delicious is what it is.
You know what? I have dessert for lunch. It's fine. Dessert's a meal, baby.
You can take that to the bank. That's the Animorph Time promise.
Listen,
dessert's a meal, baby.
Dessert can be a meal as long as you have enough of it.
So now that we have this delicious beer,
oh man, it's so
we've
good.
talked about the title.
If I say, that's good, like in the podcast, it's me drinking that beer.
Yes, it's not me sucking his penis.
I'm surprised you're able to talk during that.
You have a very small penis.
Yeah, if anything, it adds like a little bit more body and volume to your podcasting voice.
So this book is for Michael.
Yeah, this book's for Michael.
This one, like most of them, for Michael.
Yeah, this Michael. Let's pretend it's for a good friend, Michael O'Neill.
Yeah, hey Mike.
Hey Mike, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Shout out to Mike.
Hey, how's that wife?
Hey.
Wife's a big deal in this book.
Yeah, this is a wife book.
This is a wife book for sure. So our book starts.
Yes.
Tobias.
What's his name?
His name is Tobias, and
Can he tell you anything about himself?
Yeah, he can.
Because he doesn't care.
This is a subversion of the trope, which I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, it's really good.
He's like, yeah, I can tell you everything about me. You'll just never find me.
Well, he also is like, I can tell you everything about me because I don't care if you find my family.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, my family doesn't love me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you found my dumb aunt. Cool. All right, she's dead. That sucks. Whatever.
Oh, well, I'm a bird. Time to mow down on some mouse. So he goes on to describe he's an animorph. He's going to protect his friends.
He loves hunting down mice.
He gets hungry, so he hunts down a mouse.
He likes to hork down a mice.
We're going to hork down today.
Yeah.
It's a hork down.
This is a big hork down.
Hoo-wee, we got a hork down. So
they do a dance.
They do a dance.
They do a dance. I'm sure they play the jug. They would be so good. Honestly, they'd be the best washbird player. They don't even need spoons. They just hit their chest. And their songs would be like, "Hurry off here! Hurry off here, sister bar!"
I love Hork-Bajir speak.
Hork was, yeah. There'll be good stuff
But
later.
We'll get to the Hork down. Right now, we got Tobias, and Tobias is feeling wistful because he saw a magazine.
Yeah, he found like Woods porn.
Yeah, like.
Well, not porn. Yeah.
Do you remember Woods porn? Have we talked about Woods porn?
No, we haven't talked about Woods porn.
But you know what Woods porn is. Did you?
I know
the
the variation of it.
Did you have it? Because I did.
I had yours. Did you there's a stash around your house?
Yes,
where up by the hill.
Yeah.
Where in the hill, it's. I now know why that happens. By the way,
Go on.
I've solved the mystery of Woods porn.
Please tell me.
It's because old grizzled middle-aged people like ourselves,
Oh no.
they can't look at porno around the wife,
Oh.
right? Because she'd be like, "Hey, stop that! Stop looking at that old titty." And then the idea is that you hide the porn outside the house, so that way you can go and reference the porn,
Okay.
do your business, and then come back. So Tobias runs across just a normal non-pornographic magazine.
He finds a magazine. The pages flip. He sees a group of kids his own age in the magazine. He's like, "That used to be me."
Which, again, anytime Tobias in a bird form reads a magazine, anything Tobias in bird form does anything that a human would do is hilarious.
It's very good. Very
him
sad.
watching TV, him eating a potato,
Wearing a watch, having a little purse.
The dumbest thing Jake has done
Oh yeah, for sure.
has been feeding Tobias a potato for a month. Like here's meatloaf and a potato.
Hey, do you like green beans? They're good for you.
Jake, you fucking moron! It's a bird.
Jake's an idiot. It's fine. Jake sucks.
At least give him raw steak. Give him raw hamburger.
Yeah, at least Cassie gives him raw fucking meat. But it's fine. But that makes Tobias a little sad, a little wistful.
He misses being a kid.
He does.
He misses his bed.
He does.
He misses all that shit.
He misses the things he could do in the bed. Sleep. Eat hot chip. Touch self.
Lie.
We're not going back to that. So he starts to fly and he gets wistful. He sees Axe, but he's not really feeling like talking. He just says hey to Axe and then flies off.
And he does what I kind of want to do is swing by the school and kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, he sees Cassie doing her Cassie stuff, Marco making people laugh, Jake playing basketball.
Brings him back to a different time in his life.
Yeah, and then
he comes across Rachel.
Then he sees Rachel, and
Rachel's different.
And he describes her differently. He describes her like this. Then she stepped outside, out into the empty quad that separated the main building from the gym and temporary buildings. She stepped out into the sunlight, and her blonde hair became a flame of pure gold. Rachel. That is a striking, poetic, beautiful description.
I should steal these lines. These are not bad.
As an adult, I've been talking to this blonde girl.
Okay.
I haven't. I'm just making this up. It's fine.
I'm gonna add that in. I'm gonna make sure that
please do.
Your lie is in.
It's if I were to talk to a blonde girl, I would definitely say your hair is. I would find a way to say your hair is like a flame of pure gold.
Then she'd block you on Tinder. That's weird.
That's such childlike, but not corny sincerity.
It would be corny if he wrote it out and told her.
Yes.
But since it's an internal thought, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's not. It doesn't have any ulterior motive. That's the way he sees Rachel.
Right. If he had said something like the flaxen toe-headed behemoth of woman
okay,
spilled out onto the courtyard like John Carpenter's The Blob.
But the best part is after that description, he says, "Hi,
yeah,
what are you doing? Skipping school?" he does the awkward
right.
Sup?
And she waves at him, and she's got a note in her hand, and he sees it. And his eyes, being most wonderful hawk eyes, read the note. The note says that she is student of the year for some bullshit.
She's Mr. Student.
She's
the captain.
She wins best student of Fake City High or whatever. And he's like, why didn't she tell me about that? He reads that the ceremony for this award is at the end of this week.
Big ceremony.
And he realizes She didn't tell me about this. None of them told me about this.
Everyone's gonna be there.
Yeah, everyone's going to be there, and they know I can't, so they hide it from me.
But he immediately knows why. He's not like he's not understanding. He's just a little bit sad by it because he knows that he can't show up and be a bird in the middle of this presentation.
And honestly, he should be sad. They shouldn't hide shit from him. Hiding this from him is worse than him like.
But would you tell Tobias?
Yeah. Because if the person I loved couldn't come to something that I wanted them to come to, I'd still be like, yeah, I won this thing. I wish you could come, but I know you can't.
Okay.
Because it's better to be honest with them than it is to try and protect their feelings. The only thing that we owe the ones we love is we owe them their pain at our action.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's adult brain speaking, and like
we did some adult brain speaking earlier. It's fine,
but no, these are kids, and they're afraid of potentially. Well, she's afraid of potentially hurting his feelings, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's a lack of trust that like kids have because they don't think that they'll ever not be accepted for like I caused you a little bit of pain. I'm sorry, but I still want you to know about this.
Right.
It's a teenager thing that happens. Right, it's what teenagers do. They hide shit because they don't want to make you feel bad, even though it's just like you need to tell me.
Right,
like it's a kid who broke his toe but didn't want to tell his parents because he didn't want to get yelled at.
And
you know,
Tobias immediately picks up on why. Like he's that smart, he's that quick. He understands the others very well to realize, oh, they care. They're just not trying to hurt me, but it still hurts him because Tobias is the boy who's never thought of.
Sorry, continue with your thoughts.
Tobias is the boy that was never thought of or considered. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Nobody cared for Tobias.
So in turn, does he care for everyone else?
Yes.
Like
and
he does the thing that he wanted to have done to him.
Yes.
Okay.
And in turn, the Animorphs are not caring for him by not telling him the truth. So he immediately goes, hey, I've been mapping Yerk pools. Do you want to go check them out?
It's the other value he can give to them,
yes.
right? It's just like, I've been a good soldier. Mm-hmm. And he has been a good soldier.
He's been the best soldier.
He has been the Rambo of like creating maps, tracking all these known controllers around town.
He's been tracking them, the entrances to the Yerk pool, the exits.
What time they go in.
Yes.
You know, he has like this graph in his brain.
Right.
Of like everything, every possible exit and entrance to Yerk pool.
And so Rachel's like, hell yeah, let's do it. Because she's misadventure.
That's the way to get to Rachel, right? Is to show her an adventure.
And all the while, Tobias is wondering, did I do the right thing? If I could choose this life again, would I? And he doesn't really think he has an answer for that. Yeah, well... His regret and his sorrow makes him question his existence, which, hell yeah, brother, I get that.
Yeah. He has that moment in his life where he's like, if I just did something a little bit differently, would I?
Well, we find out.
Sure, I mean, yeah. Sure, but like that. This is a foreshadowing.
This is
that decision.
And Tobias handles all this gracefully. He says, "Hey, congratulations. Let's go check out the Yerk pool."
Well, and he also like lets her know that he knows about the ceremony,
right?
And she kind of blows it off as like, "Oh yeah, sorry. I meant to." But.
Yeah, big week. Sorry.
Well, and Tobias plays it off too. Like he's not like too hurt by it, but
yeah.
He's trying to play it off as not too hurt.
Right,
by it,
and I think he knows it comes from a good place, but it still hurts him.
Yeah, and do you also think it's because maybe he thinks that Rachel doesn't consider him human anymore?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, why would I invite a bird to a ceremony?
It's the same thing that Axe vocalized in his book. He feels separate from them. And now something like this makes Tobias feel separate from the rest of the Animorphs.
Yeah.
Which is...
The source of the problem is one thing, but his interpretation is both things.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it is probably because Rachel just didn't think of it. Well, it's probably because Rachel didn't want to hurt his feelings because he couldn't come. But in reality, Tobias is probably thinking that is because either I'm a bird or I just wasn't cared for. You know? So it's like, sucks.
And so Rachel's like, hell yeah, let's go check out the Yerk pool. We can do that. I guess this is how they go on dates, yeah?
Yeah, they go on bird dates.
They go on bird dates.
Yeah, like Rachel
they fly together.
Yeah, Rachel turns into bald eagle.
Yeah.
Rachel turns into a bald eagle, and they go flying around talking about school,
Like
and what's
flying
on
is
TV
cool,
or whatever.
yeah.
You see that movie? That's pretty great.
Right. And
I didn't. I'm a bird.
And Tobias kind of gets lost in thought, thinking about how cool flying is, when he kind of like jumps awake and he sees the ground open up. And he's like, whoa, where the hell are we? And Rachel's like, yeah, you were flying us to the Yerk pool, but this just looks like the forest near Cassie's house.
Yeah. And he tries to like fly back towards where the York pool is, and then he just kind of like wanders back.
Yeah, he
for whatever
zones
reason.
out again.
And just wanders back to this one spot, and then like, yeah, the earth is starting to crack open.
The earth opens up. And
Which, how do you interpret that? Is it like an earthquake? Is it like
no, I interpret it as like a door opening that was the ground, like it was sliding to one side, and kind of like a fake door or whatever.
Yeah, like a little trap door.
Yeah.
And what comes out of the trap door?
2 Hork-Bajir.
All right, they're out on patrol. They're ready to.
No, they're like hugging and running.
They're hugging?
Well, yeah, it says they were embracing.
Oh, no. Then they're running? What are they running from?
Bitch, they running from some yerks.
Oh, damn.
They're running from controllers.
Right. So the way this chapter is framed in that, like, they're normal Hork-Bajir with Yerk brains. It turns out they are not, because they are running away from other Hork-Bajir
Yes.
that are very much wanting to kill them.
Yes, well, at first it's just human controllers with guns.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So it's framed in the sense that, like, you know, these are 2 normal Yerk-brained Hork-Bajir.
Mm-hmm.
But right behind him is a bunch of human controllers with guns ready
Yes.
to blast them into Dracon dust.
Yeah, we're just ready to fucking blast them, and they are blasting at them.
Yeah, blasting hard. With human guns, though, not Dracon beams.
With human guns.
You know, the human gun.
Yes, the assault rifle 15. that'll get us some.
Yeah, there you go.
So they realize that the Hork-Bajir are getting shot at, and they're kind of following in the air. And they think, is this a trap? What's going on?
What do we do?
What do we do?
Do we go in there and help them out, or
And Tobias says, I've got a plan. Let's talk to him.
let's do it?
I would have smiled if I had a mouth. Rachel is so brave. She's just short of being reckless. I like that about her. Hey, Hork-Bajir down there. I saw them stagger as though they were shocked and amazed to be hearing thought speak. Like that was their major problem. You're about 10 seconds away from being dead, I said. Listen to me and you just might get out of this alive. And it's like, that's the start of our book.
Yep.
That's,
Follow me if you want to live.
yeah. Sarah Alien. Yes. So Tobias talks to them, leads them.
Yeah, tries to guide them away from
He's giving them directions.
these other
like,
human
jump
controllers.
right, hide behind that, go this way.
Yeah, you know what this scene reminds me of is that scene from The Matrix where Neo gets the cell phone call from Cowboy Curtis. Yeah. and it says, like, go to the next stall. Okay, hide in that cubicle. Then go out the window and hang out on the ledge. Where it's just like, that's really cool. I like that gimmick.
And do you remember, what was it, like the first book? It's the second or third book.
Yeah.
Where Tobias saw someone running from Hork-Bajir and he led the human away.
Yeah.
We're finally getting to see that in action, which is super cool.
Right.
And Tobias says, okay, you guys, cut to your right now. There's a ditch. But there are a couple of controllers in your way. So you need to pass the big rock pile there, keeping it on your left. The Hork-Bajir hesitated, missed a couple of steps, and looked around in confusion. Did you guys hear me?
They heard you, Rachel said tersely. I think the instructions were too complicated.
Oh, great. Okay, in that case, let's play Follow the Leader. I took a deep breath and glanced around to make sure I knew exactly where I was. Then I spilled a little air from my wings, tried to keep all the speed I could, and dropped down into the trees. Okay, time to play Follow the Big Birdie. I zoomed just over their heads. Yeah, me, the big brown bird with the pretty red tail. Follow me and stay close,
Tobias,
Rachel yelled.
one of the trucks is moving in ahead of you.
I zoomed left, and the twin monsters came racing right after me. Have you ever flown at full speed right through a densely packed forest? Probably not. So let me tell you. It's exciting. Exciting like a video game set to the highest speed where one wrong move means you're a bundle of crushed bird bones and feathers. Stay with me, boys. We're going to be hauling butt, I said. And so he leads them on through this chase. Like, he's putting his own life at risk flying through these trees.
And probably the coolest fashion. Like, I'm picturing, like, him just, like, swinging left, swinging right. Kind of like it. Yeah.
And this is, like, the stark contrast between him and everyone that's not Rachel. He loves this. He loves being the hero.
Jake would probably just give up and leave.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, I guess I have to do this. Mark would be like, nope.
I think Rachel would probably like tell them to go and then like run towards the army that was heading towards her.
She'd immediately turn into a bear and fuck some shit up.
Tobias does the smart thing. It's like, yeah, he does the leader thing, say.
Yeah, and he leads them away, but there's one complication. One of the Hork-Bajir gets fucking wrecked by a truck.
Yep.
Just plowed into by a truck.
Just gets blasted by that truck.
And the other one screams. And Tobias is like, come on, you dumb fuck. Let's keep going. So Tobias is leading them away. They're being chased by controllers and trucks shooting at them. Tobias is dodging bullets, just dodging left and right. He goes to take some fucking eyes. Rachel goes to take some fucking eyes.
Yeah, I know.
They slash eyes out and knock people out of the back of the trucks.
Yeah.
And they're just getting shot at. And, of course, our boy.
He has a decision to make, right?
He does.
Because there's still one person left in this truck.
Yes.
Tobias and Rachel do this coordination thing, which I think is really cool. It's like,
yes.
You get the guy on the left, I'll get the guy on the right.
Yeah.
This is something Rachel suggests, by the way, because of course.
Yeah, because she knows how to fucking kick ass. And Tobias says, Rachel, have I ever mentioned that you are extremely cool? I said. Then to the Hork-Bajir, just keep running the same direction. Don't stop.
Right? And so
they go for eyes. They knock people out of the truck.
It's a tactical kind of
tactical.
It's a tactical kind of thing to have Rachel do.
Yes.
Rachel the war hog. I don't know where I'm going with this.
The war hog.
Well, I mean, just like somebody who like really enjoys war and really
right. And
like,
who's good at it, who's naturally good at it.
When Rachel like goes to college, she'll probably like take military history. Like she feels like the type of person that is deep into war strats.
Right. I mean, she is quoting Sun Tzu.
Right, exactly.
Like,
so
she gets it.
So this feels like a coordinated military thing. And
they're fucking birds taking on humans with guns. That's cool.
Flying at humans like straightforward. Just like
bullets
right into
flying through their feathers.
Right.
Missing by millimeters, he says. So they take out the shooters. They're still the driver.
Mm-hmm.
Hork-Bajir, first one comes running out, gets away. Second one pops out of the dense forest. Fucking truck hits that Hork-Bajir.
Yep.
The Hork-Bajir who survives says, Kalashi! Kalashi!
My wife.
He does. Kalashi is Hork-Bajir for my wife.
Well, he says my wife.
Yeah, he does.
That's not only a Borat joke.
And Tobias is like, did he say my wife? And Rachel said, did he say my wife? So our Hork-Bajir, our free Hork-Bajir, first one in centuries, a wife guy.
Well, if somebody's going to be covered in razor blades and knives and can really just take somebody down, it's a wife guy.
Yeah, he's going to protect his wife.
That's right. This is a guy who is holding his Kalishi close while she's pregnant and holding the big gun.
I can be your devil, or I can be your angle.
Angle as in like the angle I'll cut you with my little elbow blades.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. He knows the way of the blade for his wife.
Yes.
He has studied the blade.
And when the Yerks are at knocking down your door, you have the audacity to ask me for help?
Do you think this Hork would be like way into anime? Probably, right?
No, because he fucks.
And does he?
He does. Man, this Hork-Bajir fucks.
Anyways.
It's fine.
So they're running away. Wife guy is very upset by the death of wife.
Yes, and they're like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, they're like, wife? What do you mean wife?
Yeah, so they cut ahead. They mention that they stashed the Hork-Bajir in a cave, and he's like shell-shocked from losing his Kalashi.
Yeah, he's fine just staying there for now.
Yeah, you should cut in some Game of Thrones Khaleesi.
Yeah, that's what I wonder where they got Khaleesi from.
Yeah, Kathy Apples, where did you get Kalashi?
Yeah, did you steal it from Game of Thrones? Did you look into the future and pull?
No, these were written... Game of Thrones was written before these books.
No, No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so.
No, and here's how I know this is that Song of Fire Iceman. What's his name?
George R.R. Martin.
George R.R. Martin. He did Twilight Zone episodes around this time.
What?
Yeah, he was doing writing for Twilight Zone. See, I suppose he could be doing both. Like, there's no reason why he couldn't just like write two things.
I guess we will never know. First one written 1996.
When was this written?
97.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
shit.
I mean, there's no way she read those fucking books.
Yeah, surely this fantasy author would never read any other fantasy.
No, never. So they cut ahead. Tobias and Rachel are telling the group what happened, and they're like, wait, this Hork-Bajir is a wife guy?
This is the only thing they care about is the wife.
Yeah.
Tell me more about you. He has a wife? Like, he fuck?
Marco's like, that Hork-Bajir's fucking and I'm not fucking? Wow. Real cool.
Yeah, real cool, Marco, talking about fucking in a kid's book.
Yeah, I can't believe it. And the detail.
So they all pretty much know what to do. They need to go talk to this Hork-Bajir who's scared and alone in a cave.
Axe, tell us about Hork-Bajir wife. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, and like, what do you mean you don't know?
He's like,
this is their biggest shock troop. You should know a little bit.
The last free Hork-Bajir was years ago. There's no free one left. So the first one is a wife guy.
Yeah. And like, well, the thing that gets me is just Axe just doesn't know much about Hork-Bajir.
Yeah, he's like, there's another game, another hot Adelaide girl.
Haven't they like captured like one? Just
no.
Grab one.
They just kill him.
They can't like just grab one? It would be useful to know information about your enemy, right?
Well, I mean,
in order to defeat the bug, you must understand the bug.
To fight the bug, we must understand the bug. We can ill afford another Klendathu.
It's afraid.
It is afraid in a cave right now.
Yes.
So they go to the cave to understand the bug.
Yeah, and they don't want to reveal that they're humans to the Hork-Bajir just in case.
It might be a trap.
It might still be a trap.
Well, and also if he gets captured and gets yerk-brained again, he has information
he knows.
in there.
He knows everything.
Right.
So Axe and Tobias approach the cave.
Yeah.
And Axe,
those are the only two that can go in because
Axe is an Andalite. Tobias is the hawk.
Tobias is not human. That's why he can go in.
Yeah, he can.
Right?
Yeah, he's... God, I love him so much.
Yeah, he's the only one that can pass as not human.
Yes.
Which is wild.
That's...
Because he is. He has a human brain.
He's
but
got
like that's
human brain, human heart.
He's perfect for this mission, though.
He is.
So, but of course, Axe needs to go in, too, because he's an alien. And maybe they should talk to each other.
Right.
Which turns out actually a bad idea.
Bad idea. Hork-Bajir...
all aliens are friends, right?
Hork-Bajir immediately starts knifing out. Axe is like slashing with his tail. They're not buds. And he's like, Andalite bad.
The reaction was immediate.
Everything Andalite.
A blade arm slashed, missing Axe's head by inches. Axe jerked back and cocked his tail to strike. No, I yelled. Listen in there, you weed-whacking looking jerk. Calm down. And Axeman, take it easy.
The bladed arm withdrew slowly, and Axe relaxed his tail. I took a few seconds to slow my heart down. When a bird is startled, it wants to fly. Natural instinct. I had to fight to control it and stay put.
What's going on in there?
Cassie asked. I looked up at the sky. Rachel and Cassie were up there in bird morph. Rachel is her bald eagle self, and Cassie's an owl. The sun was just setting, and when darkness fell, an owl would be a lot more useful than an eagle. The two of them were flying cover, making sure we weren't disturbed.
Oh, nothing much, I said. We're all just saying hello. By the way, is everything clear up there, Cassie, Rachel?
Yep, everything is clear, Rachel called down.
I took a couple of deep breaths and tried to steady my nerves. Neither Axe nor I wanted to go into that cave anymore. You just can't be careless when you're dealing with Hork-Bajir. One fast move and they can leave you wondering why your head is rolling around in the grass.
Hork-Bajir, come on out, I said firmly. Slowly the big creature crawled out. He stood erect, blinking in the dim evening light.
Not Hork-Bajir, he said. Jarahami! My name Jarahami!
He's kidding, right? Jake said in my head. His name is Jeremy? So we meet Jeremy the Hork-Bajir.
Yep, here comes Jeremy.
We could call him Jarahami, like he wants us to.
Yeah.
He's Jeremy. So they tell Axe he has to talk to Jeremy here. And so Axe leads with...
My name is Aximili, Axe said.
You are Ruthin, Andalite.
Yes.
You kill me,
No, I won't kill you.
Hruthin kill Hork-Bajir. The Hork-Bajir named Jeremy said, Hork-Bajir kill Hruthin.
This is going real well,
Marco
Marco
said.
said dryly. Then he sang new words for that Barney song. I kill you, you kill me.
We're an alien family with a //anamorph. Kill the Visser 3. Did I do it right?
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm having flashbacks to the 90s
Like
hatred
bad.
of Barney.
Uh-huh.
Of like, everyone fucking hated Barney. Everyone hated Barney.
They hated Barney, but he was fine.
He's a kid's show. Of course he's going to be like a little bit annoying. Have you seen Paw Patrol?
No.
Have you seen PJ Masks?
No, but I've seen the Baby Shark thing.
Have you seen Peppa Pig?
No. Well, maybe. Like, when we're doing procedures on kids, they will often hand the kids a cell phone and they'll play the stupidest shit I've ever seen on YouTube.
Yeah, well, some of it's pretty good, like the alligators that go through the fountain.
Or like Paul Joseph Watson. Prison Planet.
Yes, I'm aware of the prison planet.
I hate that guy. I hate him so fucking much.
Yeah, well, only because you're in the prison. He's free. He has a free mind.
I hate him so much.
Yeah, you just take that blue pill.
Ugh.
I'll take my red pill to get me out of the Matrix.
Right. Right.
My favorite part of 2020 is when the director of the Matrix went on Twitter and said, "You're both fucking idiots."
Yeah, I told Elon Musk to eat shit.
That's pretty good.
In case you're wondering what day it is, Elon Musk's rocket just blew up.
Yeah, good. Hopefully with him in it.
Fucking idiot. Fucking South African apartheid diamond stealing motherfucker.
Looks like somebody smoked too much weed on Joe Rogan.
Oh! Hello, Grimes. Mid-mix.
Hello, Grimes. Where's the old baby?
I'm Elon Musk. That's it. That's...
Is that what? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He's like, "Oh, I'm bald, but I'm rich. Check out me rocket ship."
I'm a billionaire who also likes Rick and Morty.
Nikola Tesla is an electric wizard.
So if you're keeping track, we hate Harry Potter,
Yeah.
we hate dog rates,
Okay.
and we hate Elon Musk.
Okay, I mean, there's more things we hate.
Well, yeah, but those are like
We love
the pillars of hate of this podcast.
Yeah, okay, but like in order to like, the pillars of hate are holding up the floor of love, which includes Tobias, Axe, and Jeremy.
Yes, I love Jeremy the Hork-Bajir.
Yeah, Jeremy the Hork-Bajir, even though he has some powerful wife energy, he's a guy who would be good at like, he would throw a good barbecue,
Yes,
right?
yes, he can grill. Jeremy can grill.
100% he can
And
grill.
you know how I know Jeremy can grill? They accuse him of possibly being a yerk.
Right.
And Jeremy immediately cuts open his head and shows them his brain.
I saw the wrist blade slice right into his own head. He sliced right into his own head. No! I yelled in horror. Yeah! Jake yelped.
There was a gash 6 inches deep in the Hork-Bajir's head. He reached up with his clawed hands and pulled the gash open. He pulled his own head open. And it's not like it didn't hurt him. I could see the pain on his face. Blood or something oozed in shades of deep red and deeper blue-green. He held the gash open and we stared, Axe and me, right into the Hork-Bajir's brain. I guess Jake and Marco could see it pretty clearly too.
Oh, man.
Marco moaned.
Can't I just say, yuck?
Jara Hamid pressed the two sides of the gash together. He held the cut for a few seconds, and with amazing speed, the bleeding coagulated. Shit.
Yeah, just scabbing up like a pro.
Yeah. He's like, my head, mine. Jeremy free.
Look at brain.
Yeah. Jeremy, Jara Hamid is strong, but Jara Hamid needs help.
Here's the thing. If you could just pop open your head like a melon and have it be sealed up perfectly fine in like a couple of hours, would you be doing that all the time?
Yes, dear God, yes, all the time.
You're like, I feel a little sad today. Pop. Cut.
Just, let's look at my brains. Let's
mean-
just tool around with this higher function part, see
could
if
you
I feel
imagine-
happier.
Could you imagine if you have like anxiety and like you have like irrational fears and you just like pop open your head to see if like, hey, is everything fine in my brain? Okay, good. We're good.
No, instead I just have to do that emotionally.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do I still want to live today? Oh, nope, not really, but I'll go to work anyway.
Scab.
So, Jeremy the Hork-Bajir, I like Jeremy the Hork-Bajir,
Yeah.
asked for their help. Help to do what? Axe asked him gently.
The Hork-Bajir stared at Axe, then shifted his gaze to me. Flying animals saw my Kalish. Jerahami must find her. Jerahami.
He struggled to come up with a word, then he made a gesture with his hands, as if someone were tearing something out of him, as if someone were removing his heart. There was no question what it meant. Even across the huge divide between our species, I could recognize that emotion. You love her, I said.
Jerahami loves.
The Hork-Bajir said.
Kalishi. Jerahami free. Want free.
Jeremy, free. Jeremy, want free. So they got the plot of this book.
Yep. Jeremy loves. That's the plot of this book.
That's enough for them to believe him. There's no yerk in his brain. He's strong. He wants to be free. Wants his wife.
Jeremy wants wife.
Jeremy wants two things. Jeremy wants wife, but Jeremy wants free.
Live free or want wife.
Live free and want wife. Live free, get wife, or die. Oh, there's the title. So the Animorphs decide to help Jeremy, our lovable chud.
The chud who loves to love. He loves his wife. He has strong feelings about alien races that are not his own.
Yes. But he just wants to... He doesn't want any miscegenation.
No, he just wants his wife.
Yeah, just give me my wife and my AR-15.
Yeah, do you know what Jeremy is? Jeremy is just like a misguided hunter in the middle of, nowhere. He doesn't care about politics, but he does care about his wife.
Right.
And cares about his property.
And he's got some funny ideas about people's ages and what's okay. Libertarians are all pedos. That's the joke.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't calling him a libertarian.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was just like a Republican that didn't really look into it.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, like he's a Republican who just didn't look into what that means.
I love seeing people get owned. The Donald owns the liberals.
No, it's more of like the guy who listens to part of Rush Limbaugh and likes him because he's angry.
He's not really listening.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I can't wait to get out to my forest porn.
Yeah, exactly. He just wants to fish.
Pour myself another beer.
So they decide to help Love's Quest and help Jeremy find the presumably dead wife.
Well, Jeremy doesn't think so.
Well,
But
yeah,
that's when we get the complicating factor.
What's that?
15 to 20 controllers heading that way. Cassie
Yeah.
said so. This book don't stop.
Yeah.
This is the start of the momentum that doesn't quit.
Right.
But it's
But they are after
there are
after
two
Jeremy's-
waves of controllers coming, one from the east, one from the south.
They want Jeremy bad.
They want Jeremy bad.
So even if they wanted to help him with the quest of like finding dead wife, it doesn't matter at this point because they need to get him out of there.
Yeah, they know they're converging on this cave. They got to get the fuck out.
Right.
And they realize that they could easily leave. They could just take off, leave Jeremy, be fine.
Yeah.
Jeremy doesn't know that much.
Jeremy doesn't. Well, he knows that they can turn into birds. They know that he knows that he could just be abandoned.
Yeah, but he saw an Andalite.
Yeah.
He saw what he assumes is a person in the bird, or an Andalite in a bird.
He doesn't trust Andalites, and he's kind of has a low opinion of their honor. It sounds like.
Yes. So Tobias realizes they want the Hork-Bajir, and they need a distraction to get Jeremy out of there. So he says, I've got an idea. It's a big one, but it's an idea. And they're like, okay, what is it? He says, let's give them a Hork-Bajir. Someone will acquire the Hork-Bajir, turn into them, and distract them. And who volunteers to do that very thing?
Marco and Cassie, one of the two.
Yeah.
No, of course it's Rachel.
It's Rachel.
Because Rachel loves death and yearns for a heroic end.
Don't we all, man?
So, like, yeah, she acquires the Hork-Bajir, and I want to read this transformation. Normally we skip by them, but like they're pretty. This one in particular is pretty
Yeah,
good.
she acquires the Hork-Bajir. But let me ask you this: if you were to die heroically, how would it be?
I don't know. I wouldn't go for like the charge of death towards like a invading army. I would like to do like the I'm closing a door and preventing them from killing everyone. That kind of heroic death.
I would like to heroically have a heart attack after a life of overeating.
Like a true hero, American hero.
Yeah, it's like an American hero, like every troop.
Name another American hero. Is the answer Shaq? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Guess who turns into a Shaq-sized Hork-Bajir?
Rachel.
Described in the book as Shaq size. She was growing taller now. She was already tall for a girl, but now she was quickly heading towards Shaq size. Her skin was changing. She turned dark, almost green-black. Her feet mutated swiftly from dainty human feet to three-toed, one-spur feet of the Hork-Bajir. Feet that looked like my own talons, except much, much larger. Her face grew elongated. The jaw bulged forward and became smooth as a bullet. Her eyes were narrow, red-tinged slits. And then blades began to appear.
Swoop.
Horn blades exploded from her forehead.
Swoop.
Blades appeared at her wrists and elbows.
Swoop.
Blades grew at her knees. Rachel had become a walking razor. 7 feet of muscled, deadly speed.
So, Rachel said, so this is a Hork-Bajir.
And I like that description because I didn't have a clear picture of what Hork-Bajir was. It's just blades everywhere. But
Yeah, bird mouth, snake neck.
Right. It didn't distinguish where these blades were.
Right.
But in this book, it's very important where these blades are located. Yes. For a reason we'll get into later. But I like that lead into we really need to paint the picture of what these things look like.
Yes.
They're not just walking salad shooters anymore. No. They are tall, bird-like creatures.
Covered in blades.
Well, not covered in blades.
Not covered,
but they have blades at the hands and knees and elbows.
Yes, and head.
Everything pointing forwards. Right? And I don't know. I just like that description because it gives me a clear idea of just instead of blade monster. Because when I was honestly at the beginning of this reading of the Animorphs, I always pictured Hork-Bajir as just dumb fantasy novel covered in blades everywhere.
Yes.
Like
an evil Darth Maul looking dumb shit.
Well, no, like Pinhead, where it's just everywhere. They can't move. They can only just wobble forward with blades. But I don't know. I just appreciated it.
Yeah, and that's when Jeremy and Rachel do the Hork-Bajir dance for dominance.
Yeah, for dominance.
It's Rachel kind of loses her mind in the Hork-Bajir morph.
As you do.
They look like they're attacking each other, but they're missing. Mm-hmm. And as we're coming to find out, it's the Hork-Bajir ritual of being a badass with knives, a dance.
It's when you win in Mortal Kombat and you do a friendship.
Yeah.
Friendship.
Basically.
So the plan is to send Rachel in as Hork-Bajir to run away to act as a distraction.
Yes.
And then eventually she'll turn into a bird and fly off?
I guess.
Okay.
That's the plan.
All right.
But they didn't see Marco, who was his gorilla. And he walks up, taps a Hork-Bajir on the shoulder, and just punches him to death.
Goes full Indiana Jones on him.
Yeah.
Which is probably where he got that move.
Probably. I mean, it's a fitting move. When they use Marco like that, it's a good use of Marco.
Yeah.
And so
sarcastic fighting.
So Tobias does the one thing that he does best. He flies on Rachel's horn.
Yeah, get that horn, bird.
He gets on her head while she starts running because he's like, I normally can't help, but I'm going to stay with Rachel.
Yeah, well, he always feels guilty about not being able to participate in missions.
Yes.
And so I just read this as no, I'm hanging out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm help in this. Yeah.
I'm going to help no matter what, even if I'm useless.
Yes, they need me.
Yeah, Rachel cried. She pitched forward. I pitched forward. We hit the ground hard and rolled through a juniper bush. Sorry I tripped. You okay, Tobias?
Yeah, I think so. I was caught in the branches of the bush. I couldn't fight too hard to get out or I'd damage my feathers. Slice! Slice! Suddenly the juniper branches were gone.
All right, I like these blades,
Rachel said.
Excellent.
I fluttered my wings and hopped up to get back on Rachel's horns, but I must have overshot my goal because suddenly I was flying through the air. No, wait, hold on. I was up above the trees. Impossible. How did I get here? I hadn't even flown. I'd barely hopped and now I was up in the sky. What the?
No, he's time skipping.
Yes. He phased out. He's an NPC who phased out.
He's like,
he's clipping.
I saw it more as like a intense drug trip where time just kind of goes away for a second.
Right.
He had some bird mushrooms and now he's showing up in places that he doesn't remember going to.
Yes, I had to read this a couple times because I wasn't sure what the fuck was happening.
Yeah. But
And-
effectively, he just kind of teleported.
Yes. And he could see Cassie, who was about a quarter mile away. And he's like, what the fuck? And that's when he looks down and he sees a single Hork-Bajir. And he's like, is that fucking Rachel? No, it couldn't be. She was back where I should be. Was it Jeremy himself? What's going on? I noticed that one of the human controllers seemed to be sick. He was doubling over like he was having a spasm. No. Wait. He was morphing. It took a few seconds for me to be sure, but when I saw the extra stalk eyes appear and the sharp-tipped tail, I knew. It was an Andalite.
Oh, a friendly Andalite. Like it was
Yeah.
Axe over there.
Yeah, it's like there are only 2 Andalites on planet Earth. One is Axe. The other is not a true Andalite at all. It's a Yeerk who uses an Andalite body. The only Andalite controller in the galaxy. The only Yeerk to have the power to morph. Our greatest enemy. The leader of the Yeerk invasion of Earth. Murderer of Axe's brother Elfangor. Visser 3.
The only character who gets 4 paragraphs of introduction
Yes,
every time.
Every single time. The
Worth it.
dark evil emanating.
I felt a shiver in my spine as my body recoiled in self-preservation. For it was Mr. 3.
Our boy's here. Visser 3 is here.
Because of course, if they're sending 20 dudes out, Mr. 3 is going to be there to yell at them.
Yes. That's when Tobias starts calling out, hey, Rachel, Jake, anyone? No one's responding. That's when Visser 3 says, well, Ket Hellpack. Visser 3 said, that is your name, isn't it? Your original Hork-Bajir name? You've run us a nice chase, but it's time to come home now. Visser 3 seldom bothered to whisper his thought speak. I guess when you're that powerful, it never occurs to you to worry that someone might overhear.
You ever know a guy who felt so highly of himself that he was always yelling?
Yeah, every guy who goes to Applebee's. But
Just
yeah,
yelling,
yeah.
I want a margarita
Yeah.
to everyone in the Applebee's.
I need some more honey barbecue boneless wings.
Yeah, all right, that checks out.
I am not pleased by this mudslide.
Sir, listen, we'll get you.
Bring me more mudslide.
It's you can talk to me. You don't need to talk to everyone.
This freckled lemonade has run empty, and I require more steak fries from the Red Robin.
Yes, hi, sir. We can hear you in the back.
Enough! Taxons, eat him!
Yeah, Mr. 3 he eats at Applebee's, but he's too good for it.
Yeah, for sure.
He just wants those cheap appetizers.
He does. Man, those mod sticks. Ooh.
Okay, don't make fun of mozzarella sticks.
I'm not. They're delicious. That was genuine love for mozzarella sticks.
Okay, so I have an idea. It's not my idea, but I overheard it, and I want to try it.
Okay.
String cheese in the freezer, pull it out, bread it. Mozzarella stick?
I mean, I think you can just bread the string cheese, yeah?
You should freeze it first, otherwise.
Why?
Because otherwise it just gets all, it melts out. You want it to be gooey when you finally put it in your mouth.
I want you to be gooey when I put you in my mouth.
Swoop!
He grew a blade. As we will find out later. Ket Hellpack, he had called the Hork-Bajir. So it was not Jerahami. This was his Kalashi, his wife. They had her surrounded. So Visser 3's got the Kalashi surrounded. Mm-hmm. He's gloating like, ha ha, you dumb bitch. Time to come home, you freaky hoe.
So, who else is going to take action but Tobias? Nobody else is around. They're all, riding along with Rachel.
Here's the thing. They're in Tobias's home. He knows this place. He knows he's pretty much helpless.
But this is the only world he's known for 4 months?
A while. This is his world now.
Right. And guess who just stepped into his world?
Fucking Visser 3.
Watch out.
Motherfucker. You in Tobias's woods. So Tobias does what a bird does. He knows there's another hawk around.
He makes a plan.
Tobias is really good at thinking on his feet. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd say that this plan is impressive considering he only had 10 seconds to pull it off.
Yes.
But again, he knew that there was a Swanson hawk.
Yes.
Swainson?
Swainson, I don't know. Hey, bird lovers, write us in. Let us know. Swanson?
Yeah, they had a penguin in that tree.
Yes. Tobias lets out a few Sears, just calling, and the hawk jumps out. Visser 3 immediately is like, get him!
Yeah, because for Visser 3, any animal that is around him is an Andalite bandit that must be blasted.
Yes, and that's what the Visser 3 looks at the bird with all 4 of his eyes. They start shooting at the bird. Tobias whispers to Ket Halpak, "Psst, hey, I'm a friend of Jeremy. Get ready." Talons forward, beak thrust out, sudden flaring of wings to adjust the angle, and strike! My talons raked Visser 3's exposed stalk eyes from behind. Visser 3 bellowed in pain. Now run!
Blam, blam, blam!
Our boy got Visser 3's eyes.
Yeah, the ultimate eyes.
He got the eyes.
But he didn't take the eyes.
He got him, though.
Oh, yeah, he raked him. Which,
Yes.
I like rake as a attack verb.
Yes, because it's very descriptive.
Right. When you rake somebody,
It's a prolonged slashing.
right? There are only 2 people that can rake you: Tobias and Freddy Krueger.
Yes, fair. So, yes, he takes Visser's eyes, gets
what-
Ket Halpak to run.
What was your reaction to reading this whole scene?
I was like, fuck yeah, this
Yeah.
is cool.
For me, I was fuck yeah, this is cool. Another part for me was this is gonna get you killed. You're swooping right at Visser 3 with no plan. Maybe the bird comes out and distracts him. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't get distracted. There's so many things that could go wrong that I'm just you don't care about life anymore, man. You are too reckless.
And we know that Tobias disassociates and throws himself into crazy situations.
Right. And part of me that after reading the first Tobias book is okay, we know that you've been in a dark place.
Yeah.
We know that you get reckless with your life because you don't necessarily care all that much.
Yeah.
Or rather, you have given up on your own life a little bit.
And we know Tobias has recently suffered a depression from feeling neglected by Rachel and his friends.
Right. So, this whole plan of just, I'm going to fly head first into Visser 3 and hope I don't get shot. What are you doing, man?
I mean, hey,
it works.
shoot your shot, man. That's what I say.
Yeah. Hey, whatever. There are no guarantees. But,
Right.
this one just seemed like an extra gamble. That's all.
And you know what? For someone who often doesn't get to help with missions and feels left out, Tobias, he don't miss.
Maybe that's another thing too. Maybe he's been left out so much that he just needed to have that win right then. He needed to be important.
I get that. Don't you get that? Sometimes you just need
totally.
a fucking win.
Right. But at what cost? You needed a win, but at a certain point, you shouldn't shoot every shot.
No.
You really shouldn't.
No.
And this is a shot that should not have been shot.
But he shot it, and he got the shoot.
He got the 3-pointer. And took the wife away from Visser 3. Well, no, they just run off.
Yeah,
right?
they run off.
Yeah.
And Jeremy and Ket Halpak, should we call her something else? Cat?
Ketty.
Ketty?
Ket.
Short for ketamine.
Ketamine Applegate.
I ketamine Applegate.
This is my husband Jeremy and me. I'm ketamine. They call me Special K.
Y'all gonna come in here, have a little sweet tea, okay? What are we doing?
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
So in this end, it doesn't matter because they get away, they get to the cave,
Yes.
they meet up, and it's a very romantic reunion.
Yeah.
Where they immediately start clicking at each other and then and clanking their horns against each other in this weird dance.
Yeah, they didn't exactly hug. I guess hugging doesn't work all that well when you have blades all over. Ket Halpak did touch the healing wound Jeremy had made in his own head. So yeah, they didn't hug.
You can't hug with nuclear arms.
God damn it. You can't hug with knife arms. It's the Hork-Bajir story. Let's write the Hork-Bajir love story. You can't hug with knife arms.
But you can, though. It's just going to hurt, because love hurts.
Love hurts. Love scars.
And burns. Is that the next line?
I don't know.
So they're very thankful, the Hork-Bajir, and they're like, Tobias even makes a crack at Rachel. because Rachel's like, oh man, I'm going to get grounded. And he's like, your mom wouldn't ground a Packard Foundation outstanding student, would she? So he's like, he takes this victory and makes it about the way he's been slighted, which is kind of a dick move, but he's hurting. And he
I didn't read it like that. I think
Really?
it was just like a casual, just kind of like, you're fine, don't worry about it.
well, I think it's more of a, hey, that thing you don't want me to know, I know kind of thing.
I can see that. Maybe. It's up to interpretation.
It's something depressed people do to kind of be like, haha, yeah, I'm sad because of you. Just kidding.
It's a joke, you piece of shit.
It's a funny joke.
It's a joke, you goddamn monster.
I did a funny humor. Sorry. It's fine.
So they need to stay in the cave.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're being hunted. But then again, the kids need to go home for bed, otherwise they're grounded. So the kids leave, and the two non-human kids stay behind.
Yes.
Which is, of course, Axe and Tobias. Axe and Tobias have nowhere to go.
Right.
So might as well guard the cave. Okay, so they leave Axe and Tobias to kind of guard...
Yeah, they
guard
make a
the
plan.
happy couple.
Yeah, for later in the week, they're going to take Jeremy and Kitty Cat up to this
Special K.
Special K. Jeremy and Special K up
Special
to this,
ketamine.
this special little place up the mountains Tobias knows. And Tobias says, I know a place, way up in the mountains, a valley. There are caves and freshwater streams. It's hidden. The picture of the place was clear in my mind. I could see it perfectly. I saw a beautiful waterfall. I saw tall trees that practically blotted out the sky in some areas, and a wide meadow filled with wildflowers. In my mind, I could even imagine the place being home to Hork-Bajir. Maybe we could take them there, I suggested. I mean, we don't have any better plan, right? Jake says, because he's a shit leader. So
Jake's just like, whatever,
yeah,
fine.
Jake decides not to decide and says, yeah, okay.
Yes.
And Marco makes a glib remark about how they're going to go to Tobias's Garden of Eden for the Adam and Eve Hork-Bajir. And Tobias says, not a bad description, I thought. That was a little what the valley was like. I could see the place as clearly in my mind as any place I'd ever been. There was just one little problem. I'd never been there. I'd never actually seen it. And I have no idea where the lovely pictures in my mind had come from.
Psychic bird boy. He knows the future. And he can tell the
Psychic
past.
bird boy. Again,
You really need to get baseball back in your life, don't you?
I need it so bad.
So Tobias is a psychic bird from our dreams. Mm-hmm. He has foresight. He can see things that he's never been.
The shinning.
He has the shinning.
No, he's got, what is it, the dark place thing? He can see things that have happened, are happening, or will happen.
Right. And he doesn't know why. You could probably make some guesses to why.
Yeah,
but
if you've listened to the series or read the books, you probably know why. And it's fine.
So that's their plan for the next day. It's late.
Tobias is like, I'll do first watch.
Yeah, because the kids need to go home.
Yeah.
They go home to please their dumb parents because I guess they have to be home on time.
Yeah, and he talks about how he usually sleeps on his favorite perch, but he couldn't do that.
Yeah,
he's
he
got to
needs
stay
guard
watch.
that cave.
And
Which
so
is a problem, though, right?
Yes, because there are predators, and Tobias is deathly afraid of... I mean, wolves and foxes are fine because they can't climb trees, but sometimes raccoons can climb trees. There's owls. There's all kinds of shit.
Man, owls. I keep on thinking of that video.
Yeah, so listeners, if you are on Twitter, you should look up Nature is Scary and look for the video with the owl, or you could just Google owl snatching hawk, because...
There's a nice video of just like this owl just swooping over by a red-tailed hawk nest and just snatching up a hawk and flying off. And this other hawk is just kind of like looking around, just like
grabbing it in front of its mate and just taking off.
Yeah, that hawk was not a wife guy, and
yeah,
the wife just got.
So Tobias opines about how terrible owls are, and then he says this: "That's why the owls scare me. They see through darkness like I see through daylight. To an owl, I'm as visible as if I were outlined in bright red flashing neon. And an owl doesn't make any noise as it flies in for the kill. No noise, none. It makes me nervous. But what can you do? I guess everyone has problems, right?" So Tobias talks about how he's petrified and scared of dying.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of brushes it off instead of validating his own feelings. It's kind of a bummer.
He's anxious about dying. He doesn't necessarily fear death.
He says... But at night as I listen for the sounds of raccoons scrabbling and open my eyes to watch the ghostly owls do their killing work, I wish I had a house. If you ask me what I think of being a red-tailed hawk, I'd give you two different answers depending on the time of day. When the sun is up, when the thermals are piling up the tall clouds, and I'm riding the high breezes a million miles above the humans who crawl along below me, well, then I'd say it's great. But at night, when I cower on my branch and peer half blind through the leaves, a cold moon, and can only listen to the sounds of the night predators doing their work, well, that's different. So during the day, he's happy, but at night, the terror gets to him. I get that.
Have you gone, when's the last time you went camping?
It's been years. I hate camping.
Right.
Camping sucks.
What do you remember about camping at night? And hearing shit.
It's quiet. You hear things. You hear cracks. And it's like, ooh, is that a bear? What is that? What's moving? What's out there?
For me, the worst thing about sleep is that okay, let me rephrase this. There's nothing worse than sleeping in a place where you don't feel safe entirely.
Yeah.
Right? In your room, it's fine. You have a lock.
Right.
Maybe if you're our good friend, the Hork-Bajir, you have a gun under your pillow, ready to jump at action at a moment's notice. But sometimes you're just not sleeping in an area that's entirely safe.
Yeah.
You're sleeping in your car somewhere. When I was putzing around in Taiwan, I would get a shitty hotel that didn't have a lock. So guess who's sleeping at the door? And sleeping in something that isn't your bed when you could just be got at any moment is the worst experience. You don't sleep. You don't really sleep because your brain kind of portions off a section that's ready to jump into life preservation mode. So it sounds like Tobias has mental fatigue when it comes to sleeping in a meadow that is not his meadow.
Yes.
And he misses the
comfort and safety.
And the consistency of sleeping in a bed.
Yes.
Right? Of being human, of having the spot that is his room.
Right.
Because birds don't have rooms. They have maybe a tree they remember, but anything could come up there. Snatch him. An owl.
Absolutely.
An alien could come and blast him.
Tobias has been a bird so long that the predator's instinct that would keep a normal hawk vigilant and alive is starting to wear on his human consciousness, because a human consciousness cannot keep that fight or flight going for so fucking long. We're not built for it.
Yeah.
And he's buckling.
He is in a war and he hasn't been rotated to the back to get a hot meal yet.
Yeah.
Right? He's all he does at night is shake and worry about death.
Yeah. I mean, me too, but at least sometimes I can get drunk or sleep or
they have
sex.
pills for that.
Yeah, it's
you have human distractions. Birds don't have that.
No, I can.
A bird can't watch dumb TV and fall asleep.
No, I can numb the part of my brain that's telling me I'm going to die.
Right, and imagine you didn't have distractions at all. You only had to listen to the things out there that would kill you.
Oh, you'd lose your fucking mind.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's kind of just losing his mind, and up wanders Axe. He's he can't ignore Axe. He's like, "Hey, Axe man."
Hello, Tobias. You heard me? I was trying to be silent.
You're very quiet for a big old four-legged, two-handed, four-eyed scorpion alien.
Axe laughed. One of these nights I may show you.
Ha, yeah, right. And eagles may fly out of my butt.
Is that possible? Axe asked, sounding alarmed.
No. See, that's why that's funny.
I understand, Axe said, clearly not understanding at all.
Right, so he's sleeping, trying to fall asleep in this branch that is unfamiliar, where he's really missing his old life, and then comes Axe just
trying to sneak up on him.
Yeah. He's he didn't want to wake him,
Yeah.
Oh, this nice bird is sleeping, right?
Yeah, and they do their little banter. They're talking about the shit they've heard coming from the cave, weird noises, talking.
I have one last thing to say, and then I'll be off this topic forever.
Sure.
Is that Axe has not been a bird for more than 2 hours. Nobody has been a bird for more than 2 hours. Nobody's been an animal for more than 2 hours.
Correct.
Really. Right. And so they don't understand the day-to-day life of being a bird.
No, they don't.
That's why I would do the same thing too. If I saw a hawk there, just kind of eyes closed, I would try to sneak around him because I don't want to wake up this hawk. He's probably having a nice dream.
Right.
But in reality, you announce yourself because any sort of rustling doesn't just wake this hawk up, but it puts him in a I'm going to die state.
Yes.
Right?
Whew.
And so like he doesn't get it, and nobody will get that unless they've been Nothlit,
yeah.
Yeah, they've been turned into a forever bird. So welcome to Tobias's world, huh?
Yeah. It's constant fear and sorrow.
Yep. Welcome.
Welcome. Constant. Yeah, fine. So they chit chat. They talk about how the Hork-Bajir had just been getting along, having a good time. And that's when Tobias just says taxons. He knows taxons are coming.
Just pops in his brain.
But he knows he shouldn't know that taxons are coming, but he knows they're coming.
His bird sense is tingling.
Yeah. So he realizes taxons are coming.
Right.
And Axe is like, taxons? He's like, yeah, taxons, and they're moving fast, and there's Hork-Bajir with them. And Axe says,
they're special taxons,
they're
too.
Special, longer, bigger taxons.
They're like trained taxons to act as like bloodhounds to
Yes.
smell out the Hork-Bajir.
And Axe is like, yeah, they can track them for miles and miles, and they won't stop till they eat them.
And part 2, how did you know that they're special taxons? You have not seen them yet.
It's
like, and so Axe is like really taken aback that he knows that they're a special bloodhound taxons. Mm-hmm. He's like, what's going on with you? You know things.
There's something happening. What the fuck?
And he's just like, I don't know what's happening. I just know these things. Axe, go get help.
Yes.
I'll put them on the path to the Garden of Eden. I will try to guide them to paradise. For I'm their Moses.
and
hold on, he is Moses.
He is Moses, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so Bird Moses is going to take him to the Promised Land? Where is Moses?
Jewish Ocean.
Take him to Palestine.
Hey, let us know if we got that right. Moses takes him to Palestine. So Tobias starts to get pissed off. And I love this little bit about it. He says, heading towards the mountains with a pair of Hork-Bajir while someone or something used me like a sock puppet. Well, that was going to change. I was the predator. I was the hunter. No one was going to use me.
He felt manipulated.
Yes.
Which is impressive.
Yeah.
Right? Because
he shows more insight and presence of mind than all the other characters.
Yeah. All he's getting is just visions and like feelings that he doesn't understand. And he's just like, I'm being used.
Yeah. Fuck this.
My reaction would be like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm a future boy. I'm a warg.
Free visions. Yes.
Hell yeah.
No, he's smarter though. He knows when he's being used.
Yes.
And he's like, fuck that. But he still goes along with it anyways because he doesn't have a choice. Right?
Yeah.
So he rouses up the Hork-Bajir. He says, like, all right, pack your things, get your tactical gear and your camo backpack, and let's go up to the woods.
Yeah, and Jeremy's like, where are we going? He's like, I don't really know. And then Jeremy says, oh, it talked to you too, huh? And Tobias is like, what?
You knew about Special Voice?
Yeah, and Jeremy's like, when Yerk dropped out of Brain, Special Voice told me run.
Oh, grab wife and run.
Yes, grab wife and run. So me did. Now me here. And Tobias is like, motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. Head say, run, Jerahami. Head voice say, I will send a guide. Who? Me? Tobias says.
Huh? So God has told this Hork-Bajir that he will send a bird guide.
Yes.
To guide him to paradise.
Yes.
So Bird Moses is coming.
Tobias is confused, pissed off. And he says.
Also Bird Moses.
And he's like, no, we're not fucking going anywhere. This shit stops now. Yeah. I'm not leaving here with these taxons until I get some answers.
And he's yelling at the sky. He's not talking to the Hork-Bajir.
No, he's like screaming at the heavens.
Which in reality is just, Seer!
Yeah. But by the time I'd said answers, I was not in the forest anymore. I was not anywhere. Not anywhere I could understand, at least. I felt myself floating, hanging in the air. Only there wasn't any air. I wasn't flying, just floating. There was a light, a beautiful blue-green sort of light. It didn't come from any one place. It just seemed to be coming from everywhere at once. One thing was for sure. It was not in the forest anymore.
Hello, Tobias. We meet again.
The voice was huge, but not harsh. It filled my brain and seemed to resonate throughout my body. My feathers quivered, my fingers tingled. Fingers? And only then did I realize that I was changed. I looked down at my body, and somehow, in a way I can't explain, I seemed to be seeing through my body too. It was as if I could see everything from every angle all at once, like I was seeing myself through a million different eyes. I was no longer a red-tailed hawk, but I was not human either. At least not the way I once had been human. I had legs that ended in talons. I had a beak, but it was a mouth too. I know this all sounds crazy. I know it's impossible to really imagine it very well, but somehow I was both a human and a bird and some third thing that was in between the two.
So who could be this mysterious voice that has teleported him into another world and turned him part human?
The Ellimist.
Of course.
It's the Ellimist.
It's our good friend, the space-time wizard.
Yes, it's Space God Blue, fucking Ziggy Stardust bitch, saying,
Hello.
yeah, I'm controlling you. The Ellimist, I said in an actual voice that came from my own mouth. Then, from the vague turquoise fog around me, I saw it flying toward me. It was a bird of prey, a raptor, some undefinable shape. Part falcon, part eagle, part hawk. It had a snow-white belly and reddish-brown back and a tail that spread to show a dusky rainbow of colors. The bird flew to me, then stopped and floated in midair.
Yes, Tobias. Ellimist. Or at least an Ellimist.
It laughed, and the whole turquoise universe laughed along. So you're the puppet master, I said. I should have known. But this isn't how you looked last time we saw you. The bird-shaped smiled. Don't ask me how it smiled with the beak, it just did.
I choose the shape you would identify with.
Baloney. You know better than that. You know I'm human.
Are you? You don't look human to me.
I felt a queasiness in my stomach. I looked at the body I had, a body that was equal parts boy and bird. What do you want from me? Why are you making me do things I don't want to do?
What have I made you do, Tobias?
You put me in places I don't want to be. You've dragged me into the stupid mess with these two Hork-Bajir.
There's some good things there, because I like this interaction with the Ellimist because it feels like an actual conversation with an actual god. Because before it's just, he's a wizard.
Yeah.
But this one, he has taken multiple shapes. He has chosen, it's like, choose the shape of your destroyer.
Yes.
You know, like,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to change myself to fit you because I know that you can't understand me in my
Yes.
true form.
Yes.
And I'm here to guide you to something.
Yes.
Because
And-
I know better.
And Tobias is like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, he's just like flipping the bird to God. And he's just like, fuck off, God.
Yeah.
I don't need this shit.
He's like, you're making me do this shit. And the Ellimist says, I will not force you, Tobias, and I will not guarantee you will even succeed. There is every chance you will die, and the two Hork-Bajir will die, and all will have been a waste.
Thanks. That really cheers me up. Why me? Why stick with this job? What am I, some kind of hero?
The Ellimist didn't laugh. Tobias, you are a beginning. You are a point on which an entire timeline may turn.
I guess that should have made me feel important, but it didn't. I wasn't interested in being flattered. You want my help? Fine. Then I want yours. You're just about all-powerful, according to Axe. You can make entire galaxies disappear if you want. I don't know why you don't just make things happen the way you want them to, but hey, whatever.
I looked him right in the eyes, right into eyes that were a disturbing mirror image of my own.
You want me to lead these Hork-Bajir to this place you put in my head? Fine. But I want to get paid for my services.
And what do you want?
You know what I
Tobias?
want. You know.
Yes. But do you know what you want, Tobias? The Ellimist asked. And if you get it, will you still know?
So Tobias wants to get paid, because
Yeah.
he should get paid for
He
work.
should get paid. Workers get paid.
Do not work for free.
Never, ever work for fucking free. Some manager shit right here.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Just clean up afterwards, all right? Like, you made this mess. You need to clean up after you're done.
Right. And so Tobias has a long night of leading these Hork-Bajir through the fucking forest. He said every shadow felt like an enemy. We just get the chapter of Tobias petrified in fear of a forest at night.
Yeah.
And now he's blindly leading the Hork-Bajir through the forest. And he's just been assured that he might not survive. So he's not even going through the forest thinking he's invincible.
Right. Of course this Ellimist better pay him.
Right.
Because, hey, if I'm sticking my neck out, why? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I don't... he doesn't want the Hork-Bajir dead, obviously. He cares a little bit. He was still... The thing is, I think he would still do this if the Ellimist said, I'm not going to give you shit.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean it's right.
Correct.
So they're stomping through the woods. He's like, everything's fine. I guess it's dawn. I guess, light has come up. He stops everybody in their tracks, though, because he finds the one thing that is dangerous in the forest. The one thing that won't run away from a blade monster.
Yes.
Yerks, Jeremy responded. Taxons, Hellpack asked fearfully. No, worse, a skunk.
Yeah, they get...
Just let it go its way. Nobody move a muscle till it's gone. Ha! Small animal. Not kill Jeremy. No, it won't kill you. It'll just make you wish you were dead. Because stink.
Yeah, skunks are funny because they smell bad.
I just wanted to point out that...
And
there's some good stink humor going on.
They pepper in little things like this to make it interesting and like a world we've lived in.
They're going on a journey, which I kind of like. I like journey stories. I like it when somebody needs to go walk from one place to another place, and
they're not doing the thing that K.A. Applegate loves to do and cut away.
Yeah,
this is all Tobias, all Hork-Bajir.
We're stewing in the environment a little bit, which I appreciate.
Yes,
we are here creating a setting of the forest and having aliens just kind of not really know what to do with it.
So they stop because the Hork-Bajir are exhausted. Tobias is exhausted. And the Hork-Bajir gotta eat. And in tradition of these books, the aliens eat in a really interesting way.
I like this... Not gimmick. I like this
explanation.
Yeah, I like this design. I like this character design.
Yeah,
because it's purposeful in the way that it points out how deadly the Hork-Bajir are.
Yes.
Throughout these entire books, they are blade monsters. They are out to kill. They are out to maim.
They're big, hulking, shack-sized killers.
Right, and they've been that way. They've been the shock troops for 13 books now.
Yep.
But in this book, we kind of find out why.
Yeah, it always says, they used to be peaceful. And it's like, how could these fuckers be peaceful?
No, they have giant knives on their fronts. And even in the beginning of this book, they greet each other by doing a little sword dance.
Yes.
But here they're like, all right, we need a snack. So, Jeremy walks up to a tree, bends down, slice, and starts munching on some bark.
Yeah.
And that's when we find out that every single one of these blades that is coming out of his body is designed to eat special types of bark.
Yes. Different types of tree bark.
Right. The top ones get the one higher in the tree.
Yep.
This one's good for getting the sap out and
Yep.
kind of pulling out the bark chunks. And Tobias is just sitting here astounded because he had the same observation. He thought they were just murder machines, that they would eat meat.
And I don't know how much of this K.A. Applegate planned in advance.
I think this was planned.
But that is fucking cool.
It is. It's nice to get some payoff for something like that. That's a slow burn.
And
that may not have payoff. And especially this series of books where they can be read in isolation.
Yes.
That took some bravery and foresight.
It did.
It took some real planning and real kind of... I think she had to fight for this one a little bit.
And the move that I respect the most from learning that the Hork-Bajir eat trees is that they look at Tobias and they're like, yeah, this tree tastes fine. They're immediately just like, yeah, it's okay. It's not very good. It's fine.
But then they kind of think on that for a little bit and it's like, no, Earth tree, good.
Yeah.
It made me smile inside. There were times in my life that was just so utterly insane that I could only laugh. A pair of goblins from some far distant planet were worried that would hurt my feelings because they didn't like pine bark. Right? So they were just they're eating your meal. And it's it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
The good casserole.
Oh, yeah. We love this.
This is good bubble pizza. Thank you.
How come I don't hear you farting? No, that
was casserole.
That was a bit that landed hard, I would say.
And universal and timeless, because every single person on this planet has had that situation where somebody has been proud of something they've done, and you have to respond, Yes, I enjoy this thing.
Yes.
When you did not.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone has made that lie.
100%.
And it's good to know that is universal throughout all life. You will find one dog bring over like a dead bird, and the other dog will eat it and say, thanks for the dead bird.
Yes. So Tobias is like, all right, you fucking weirdos, I'm going to go get some food.
Because he's hungry, too.
He's hungry. He hasn't eaten.
He hasn't eaten.
In a couple days. Not since the beginning of this book, which was the start of yesterday.
And he didn't get a good night's rest.
No,
like
definitely
he got
not.
like he didn't sleep, and then came some like super taxon bloodhounds, right?
Yes.
So he had there's been no chance for rest or food, so he went out to go get a snack.
And he's flying around. He's like, God damn it. It used to be I could just go to the kitchen and have some fucking cereal. I love that little bit. He's like, I could just go get Wheaties.
I want some Wheaties.
Yeah.
Come on in, take a seat. We're gonna tell you what the big boys eat. Name is Wheaties, kick a wheat. Now you know what the big boys eat.
Should we talk about the history of cornflakes? How they were anti-masturbation tools?
I mean, that could replace animal facts, I suppose.
Do you know those facts?
Yeah, I know that it was
Kellogg, Dr.
right.
Kellogg was an anti-masturbation. His beliefs were that any source of pleasure like any sexual pleasure was deviant.
Yeah.
And that a healthy breakfast of smashed corn would prevent masturbation throughout the day.
Yeah.
Which my middle school self will tell you, incorrect.
Well, because here's the thing, they altered the recipe. Right? No, this is true. Like, when Kellogg originally released the cornflake, it didn't taste very good.
So you're just angry and felt sick all day. You couldn't masturbate?
Well, my understanding was that it was just originally just a crushed piece of corn.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, it was a little thick, and it wasn't salted. There's no sugar. It wasn't even, like, all that well toasted.
Mm-hmm.
So his brother was just like, maybe we should make this taste good and sell it. And so he did, and that's where the cornflake came from. And, did not work as an anti-masturbation tool, but it did work as a flake.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any anti-masturbation tools?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sexy baseball players. Just think of a sexy baseball player and you won't do it.
Griffey Jr. can't shoot. It's fine. It's fine.
It's good. It's fine.
So
he is taking the word of the Ellimist as law at this point.
Yes.
Like, he's like, I can't wait to become human. I can't wait to get the cornflakes. I can't wait to wake up in my own bed.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to go down and watch some TV. I can't wait to say hi to my aunt and uncle that don't care for me. And
right.
Generally don't even really
like,
remember anything.
I can be comfortable. I can't wait to have a good night's sleep. All that shit.
But, well, no, like that last bit is like, oh yeah, my life wasn't so great though. Right?
Yeah.
Is that like, I can't wait to return to a family that doesn't love me.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can't wait to get bullied at school again. That'll be great.
Right.
Like, like he is really absorbing what it means to return to being human.
Yeah.
And that harkens back to what the Ellimist asked beforehand, which is, do you know what you want?
Yeah. What do you really want?
What you really want. And it sounds like he wants to be human, but he only wants certain parts of humanity. He only wants the cornflakes and the bed. He
and
doesn't
the comfort and
right.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to lose flying, obviously. He doesn't want to lose being a bird, and he doesn't want to get back all the shit parts of human life.
Right.
Right? But he's at this point in the story, it's important to remember that he feels like he has a very clear promise from the Ellimist,
yes.
which is, I promise to make you human. And so he's like, all right, if I can just get through this experience, I can be okay. I'm just going to go get a snack. I'm going to get that. Oh, there's a mouse right there. I see a mouse. I'm going to get that mouse.
Yes.
So he gets ready to launch off and kind of slap that mouse down and eat him whole. And then
he gets fucking thwomped.
He gets thwomped real hard.
By a bobcat.
Right. He got what he was going to do to that mouse.
Yes.
He got that treatment.
Yes.
He got you're a snack and I'm going to get you.
And since he was focusing so hard on the life he maybe wanted or didn't want, he was not present in the mind of the predator that he was.
Birds don't have wants or they don't have fantasies.
No.
Birds do not dream of beds and cornflakes.
No.
They dream of predator.
Yeah. Tobias has even said in this book, hawks only feel close to happy when they're eating. That's it. They don't feel anger. They don't feel much other than hunger or fear. So he gave up his hawk mind for these fantasies, and it fucking backfires. He gets thwomped by a bobcat, and he realizes he can't escape.
Yeah, he has been captured and is about to be eaten.
He's dazed. The bobcat is coming for him, and he realizes his only hope is to use his human brain.
Well, I mean, his hawk brain is screaming at him right
Yeah,
now.
the hawk brain is screaming, fly, fly, fly.
Just get out. Go, go, go.
But he knows he can't. He can't because he can't get air fast enough. The bobcat's too fast. It's
The
too
bobcat
good.
was designed to, like,
Yes,
to take care of the situation.
Yes.
It knows what to do with a bird that's been injured on the ground.
Yes, and as the bobcat's coming closer, taxons and an army of Hork-Bajir come nearby. He can see them.
Yeah. There's no escape from him in this situation.
There's nothing. There's
For the hawk.
Yeah, there's being bobcat's dinner or a taxon's dinner.
So he needs to rely on the human cunning.
Yes.
He
and
needs to use a tool.
the one tool he has.
The one tool that you need.
Yes.
The biggest friend of humanity for probably a couple thousand of years. Mm-hmm. He finds a good old sharpened stick.
He gets the sharp stick.
He finds sharp stick. He poke eye. Which is great because, like, okay, here, picture this scene, right? He's on the ground, lying on his side, dazed, like he's fuzzy, but he sees a stick.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs a stick with his talons. He doesn't give away the game quite yet because he needs to wait for the bobcat.
And the bobcat wouldn't understand anyway.
Right. So the bobcat is getting ready, jumps, he picks up the stick and pokes him in the eye.
Yes.
Like, it's brilliant. It really is brilliant. And the bird would never think about it.
No. And the bobcat yowls out in pain, recoils, because you get jammed in the eye. You're going to do that.
Yeah.
And the bobcat gets eaten by a taxon.
Well,
And Tobias flies away.
Because, like, all the taxon sees is yelly loud cat me eats.
Yes.
Slurp.
Yeah.
Eats it whole, by the
Eats
way.
it whole. Slurps it right down.
Which, think about a centipede monster just eating anything whole. Like a snake. That's
Ugh.
why I picture it. It's just like a snake just kind of, like, popping open that lower jaw so it can just eat this thing whole.
Yeah. And
it gives him a chance to escape. While
And-
these taxons are greedily slurping up this cat.
yes. And that's when Tobias realizes.
Yeah.
Says, it hit me with full force. The Yeerks didn't care about being careful. The Yeerks were going to capture the two fugitive Hork-Bajir, no matter the cost, no matter who died. It was pure Yeerk ruthlessness unleashed. This was an army, an entire army against me, and two decent, simple, and not very bright Hork-Bajir. I still hadn't had breakfast. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate stakes of this book right here. And that's when he flies back to meet Jeremy and Ketamine, Special K.
Cats?
Ket. And
Yeah, Ket's not bad.
that's when the Animorphs are there.
Yeah, the gang finally make it to the rescue. Jake's here now. Hooray, we're saved.
Yeah. And then the Animorphs realize, oh yeah, the Ellimist has been fucking with you. Like, they put that together.
Yeah, at this point, like, how can you know about the art? And even
Yeah.
Well, because Axe, I think, kind of figured it out.
Yeah, he definitely figured it out, told the others.
Yeah, it's like, we know you've been talking to God.
Right.
And so, like, everyone kind of knows they've been there.
Yeah.
And they know about the deal.
Yeah, he says the Ellimist is going to make me human again. And they're like, Ellimist fuck with you, so don't be so sure.
Rachel's being supportive here.
Yeah.
Like, Rachel's like, Tobias, that'd be so great.
Yeah.
That would be so great. Right?
Yes.
She's using future tense.
Yes.
This has not happened. Tobias has always said, like, when I turn human again, as it's a
Yes.
certain thing in the future. But Rachel, I think, kind of knows better.
Yes.
Which sucks because, like, Tobias rarely gets hope.
Yeah.
And so this is the one time he kind of, like, I've talked with God.
Right.
He told me this.
God told me that this is going to happen.
Yeah, that's great, Tobias. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, and that's when they fly back to the Hork-Bajir, and Tobias is like, okay, we need to come up with a plan. But
And-
first, we need to talk to the Hork-Bajir. We need to make sure they're in this fucking game. We're going to have to reveal to them who we are, and they need to tell us if they're in this for real, or if it comes down to it, will they choose slavery or death?
And of course, Marco brings up the one thing that they need to discuss before they talk, which is, I don't mean to get all CIA about it, but if they know we're human, they can't ever be captured by the Yeerks. I mean, we're gonna have to kill him.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like
If they get
if they get captured, we're gonna have to like
we have to kill them.
poison dart in their neck.
Yes.
They give them like a little capsule that they put in their teeth, and it's like bite down if you get captured.
And he's right.
Yeah, Marco's not wrong about these things.
No.
Even if he gets the ideas from pop culture.
Yes.
Although the CIA probably would do that.
Yes, they would. Marco has a certain brutal pragmatism about him that is probably his best trait.
Marco is a true American in that he's willing to help, but only if he's guaranteed something.
Yes.
Guaranteed safety.
Yes.
I will help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as I'm taken care of first.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's what he does. Like, okay, we need to let them know that these are the stakes.
Yes.
And so they do that.
Jeremy's like, yeah, free or dead.
Right. Immediately, without hesitation, just like, yeah, free or die.
Yeah, we're not getting caught again.
Yeah. Give me liberty or give me death.
Yeah.
And then this is the best part. One of my favorite scenes in this entire book is that Rachel really appreciates that attitude.
Yes, she does.
Rachel's just like, okay, I definitely like these guys after. Well, here, I'm just going to read it. This is going to be very dangerous letting them see what you are.
Axe said heatedly.
These are Hork-Bajir. They can never be recaptured. They can never be taken alive now.
They won't be, I said. They're going to be free.
Free or dead!
Jeremy yelled.
Okay, I definitely like these guys, Rachel said. She kind of cocked her head and looked up at Jeremy. Free or dead, she yelled, just as loudly as the Hork-Bajir had.
Jake, Cassie, and I yelled it too.
Free or dead! Free or dead!
In my case, I've been too close to being dead just a few minutes earlier.
I'll give you 2-to-1 odds on dead, Marco said grimly. And if you all keep yelling with a bunch of taxons half a mile away, I'll make it 10-to-1.
Rachel ran over, grabbed Marco by his shoulders, and gave him a good hard shake. Come on, you big baby, say it. Free or dead?
Yeah, free or dead, Marco said. Then he laughed. Rachel, shit, you know you're insane, right?
Yes, but she's going to be a Packard Foundation outstanding student who's insane.
Cassie chimed in. I'm sure the Yerks will be impressed, Marco said.
I'd love that they're just yelling about death. We're going to die. Yay!
Yeah.
Like, you know what it is? This is like the rallying cry of this, like, you know, fucking chuds, man. This is the chud book.
Yes, it's the dumbass chud book.
Or it's just like, yeah, give us our liberties. We need to be able to smoke inside of restaurants or just kill us.
Yes.
Although the stakes here do kind of make sense. The stakes here are appropriate. How about that?
Very appropriate.
Right. This is the time where you do kind of say free or dead.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Not say like, hey, open up this Applebee's.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, I get. You know what? Like, I need the freedom to own about 1 million rounds of ammunition. Free or dead. Like, no, this is the time where you say that. Where
yes.
Like, you know, like, I will either be captured and turned to a brain slave, or I will be dead.
Yes. This is their last hurrah. Right. Maybe. Probably not.
Probably not.
But
like,
they think
need,
it is.
They need the spirit. They
Yes.
need to know, because if these Hork-Bajir get captured, they need to die.
Yes.
And what I like here is also that Jeremy really takes the initiative to say, like, you won't even have to do it. I will cut my own throat.
Yes.
It's like, I'm ready to go. You want me to kill myself right now?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I'm so free right now. I'll fucking do it.
Jeremy, listen, we don't do it.
I'm gonna fucking do it. I'll fucking do it. Tell me to fucking do it. I want to fucking do it. I want to fucking do it. I want to be
Jeremy,
free.
no,
I
like-
want to be fucking free. I cut my brain open
Jeremy,
for you. I
we
cut my
need
brain
you.
open for you. I'll cut everything open. You want to see my second heart? I'll cut it right the fuck out.
You have two?
Yeah, 2 of them.
Can I see one out?
You want to see my brain again?
Yeah, a little bit.
So they continue their march.
Yeah.
They know that they're being surrounded, but they're marching along to the valley with Tobias leading. And
Tobias Moses. This is a very Moses moment
it is,
for Tobias.
yes. He's very mosey. They mosey up north.
They're moseying up the mountain.
And Marco's like, God, I'm so fucking hungry. And Tobias is like, yeah, I'm fucking hungry too. Wait, there's breakfast. I see breakfast. So Tobias flies, sees a mouse. He's flying down towards the mouse. Here's thwomp, 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 thwomp. Helicopters, I yelled. The others were all too far away to hear me. I cursed myself. Idiot, idiot. Well, you were hunting. The Yerks brought in helicopters. So
like these, you know, Black Hawks,
yeah,
What's that?
whatever type of helicopter.
whirly birds.
A Hind D.
Behind D.
These whirlybirds are coming around, and Tobias says, "Oh shit!" Because as soon as they get seen, it's on.
Yes.
Like they need to start running up this mountain.
Yes, and he knows his sight and his hearing is better, so he's screaming, "Helicopter, helicopter! You have to go. We have to go."
But he's too far away. Like
He's
this thought
yes.
speech scream isn't making it to their ears.
And he gets caught in the tailwind of the rotors. I hit a branch. Snap! I felt a jolt of pain. I flapped my wings, but only my right wing worked. Then it hit me. The snap I'd heard had been my own bone. I fell through the branches. Whap! Whap! Whap!
Oh, that must be terrifying. Have you ever broken your arm really bad or
No.
your leg or anything?
Just my Achilles tendon.
You've seen broken arms.
Yes, they can be very awful looking.
Right. And like, well, the idea of you have a limb that you cannot move,
Yes.
that's a terrifying image for me.
Yeah.
Right. So when I read this, I kind of felt that a little bit of just like that snap and now you can't move your arm.
Yeah.
And especially for Tobias too, because this is the thing that I've always wondered about Tobias when he gets into hairy situations is when he gets hurt, is there going to be that scene where he gets nursed back to health? Like what I was thinking here is that Cassie is going to have to take him back to the barn where he needs to get wrapped up in a cute little bird sling and just let that shit heal.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, God, this story has taken like a big change. Right. So here's what happens.
I hit the ground and lay there, fluttering weakly, helpless. Helpless as only a flightless bird can be helpless. Panic caught me up and carried me along. No, my friends needed me. No, I couldn't just lie there on the leaves. No. And then I saw the end coming for me. Not a bobcat, not a taxon or Hork-Bajir or a yerk of any kind. Just a humble, ordinary, everyday raccoon. This
I love this.
is terrifying and beautiful at the same time.
Right. It's beautiful because it's such a simple thing.
Yes.
It's not a bobcat because like the bobcat is obviously a threat to Tobias, terrifying for just normal people anyways.
It's an instant killer.
Right. It's a cat. It's going to just eat your brain.
Yes.
Smack. It's going to, you know what it is? It's El Jefe. El
Yeah.
Jefe's going to come,
El
jump on
Jefe's-
the back of your neck,
Yep.
bite your skull, and then you're out.
You're done. But this is more terrifying for a couple different reasons. One, I love that it closes the narrative loop of Tobias being caught up in alien war, is injured, and is going to meet his demise through nature.
I always pictured that this was going to be the end for Tobias.
Yeah.
It's just like either he would go out heroically with like a big Dracon beam blasting down a mothership.
Yeah, they'd
Or-
strap a bomb to him and he'd fly into a spaceship or something.
Or he's going to do something that is going to get him killed in nature. An owl.
Yep.
The things he's normally afraid of. Right. And this is one of them. He calls out raccoons.
yeah,
a couple
earlier
times.
he mentions it by name.
Right. But it's not something you think of as, oh, a hawk predator.
Right.
Raccoon.
And what's horrifying about this is what's horrifying in all the good horror movies that use this device is the raccoon grabs onto him and just starts dragging him away.
Right.
Not attacking him, not biting him, just grabs him and pulls him away.
Down to the killing business.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. To the chokey, like in Matilda.
Well, yeah. And it's the reason why I keep on dropping I have no mouth and I'm a scream in these podcasts because I like that reference. But also, like, that's one of those short stories that stuck with me a little bit is that I cannot express my terror because it's just going to happen no matter what.
Yes.
Right? Like, no matter, like, Tobias can scream. He can speak a scream, and he does.
Yeah, he really does.
But nobody's coming to save him. Right? It's established that he is too far away.
Yes.
For anyone to hear screams. And he can't fight back against this raccoon.
No, he can't
he's
reach
already-
it. He's trying. The raccoon's pulling him by his broken wing.
Right. There's nothing he can do. He's resigned himself to death. This is the thing that will get me.
Yes.
I can't do anything. This raccoon is going to drag me into the river.
Uh-huh.
He's going to wash me nice and clean and then suck on my brain.
Yes.
And that's going to be that. Well, even worse, he's going to eat me alive.
Yeah, he says the raccoon doesn't even care if I was alive or not. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah. Because the raccoon doesn't. The raccoon's
doesn't.
nature.
Yeah.
And since Tobias has been like participating in the cold-heartedness of nature, he's going to die that way.
Yes.
He lives by the sword. He's going to die by the sword.
Yeah.
He lives by the I ate a couple of skunk babies. I'm going to die by a raccoon eating my my liver.
Yes. Absolutely. So that's when the moment he realizes he's going to die, the Ellimist chimes in. No! No!
You asked me for payment in exchange for using you. Would you like your reward now?
The Ellimist. Now, yes. Now would be a really good time, I screamed.
It is done.
What's done? Nothing is done, you lunatic. I'm still a bird.
Of course.
Help me. The raccoon was literally looking down at me, like you might look at a steak. He was deciding where to bite first.
The Andalite gave you power. Use it.
I was too insane with terror to figure out what he was saying at first. Then it dawned on me. What? What? That's my reward? That's all? You're giving me back my morphing power?
It's what you wanted.
I wanted to be human again, I screamed. You liar! You cheat! I want to be human! But the Ellimist said nothing more, and my problem right then was the raccoon. His tiny razor-sharp teeth were descending toward me, so with the last ounce of self-control, ignoring the searing pain in my wing, I turned just enough to grab one of the hind legs in my weakened talon. Focus, Tobias, I told myself. Focus or get eaten. I focused. I concentrated with all my will. And to my utter amazement, I saw the raccoon's eyes cloud over. I felt his grip weaken. And like a miracle, I felt myself begin to acquire the raccoon. I felt it become a part of me.
Our boy is back.
Our boy is fucking back. Pew, pew.
Bird.
Bird, bird. So yeah, he's back.
Yeah, kind of.
So
he's mostly back.
Yeah, he acquires the raccoon, turns into the raccoon, and the raccoon's like, "Oh fuck this," and bones out.
Like, picture this poor raccoon. Imagine you have a steak. You're taking a nice big cut of the steak. All of a sudden, that steak turns into you.
Yeah, I'd fucking run away.
I wouldn't just run away. I'd be like, "Oh God, no." So
Tobias takes off running, and he has fucking fun running. It makes him feel good. It's a different feeling.
Well, it feels weird, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like it feels fun. This feels novel.
Yes.
Right?
Like something he had forgotten, something that he liked to do.
Yeah.
And so he runs for a while and realizes, wait, I've seen the others morph back and be fine. I wonder if I'll be fine. And he morphs back, and he's fine. Our boy is back.
It's a shame because I kind of wanted the thing where he gets like in a little bird sling.
It's
because like, have you seen those?
Yes,
they're adorable.
They are adorable, and our boy's too good for that.
I mean, Tobias is adorable. He wouldn't want to be called that, but he is.
Yes, and so Tobias starts flying, and he sees the helicopters doing a few things. They're circling the area. There's a massive army, and the helicopters are just raining laser beam fire on the forest, setting a fucking forest fire.
Yeah.
They're going to burn the forest down, looking for these two fucking aliens.
They're going to burn them out.
Yeah, nothing matters anymore to these Yeerks.
Well, I mean, that's not just a Yeerk thing. Humans have done that too.
Yeah.
Like, war does this quite a bit.
Yes.
Let's blow through that church so we can get at these two, like, dumb soldiers.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And that's what they're doing. They're assaulting the earth. They're denying them the space to run anywhere except right into their greedy mouths.
Yes. And Tobias is freaking out. He thinks his friends are dead.
Right.
But he runs into them, and he's like, oh, you guys are cool. Hey, I'm cool too. I can morph.
Not right away. Because what happened is that like Tobias flies in. They're like, oh yeah, we know about the helicopters. We heard them.
Mm-hmm.
We hid in this cave. We're safe for now, but we've been kind of brainstorming to what to do.
Yes.
We're glad you're here though.
Hey, do you have an idea?
Yeah, like Jake hasn't had any ideas.
Yeah, Jake doesn't have any ideas. Marco's a pessimist. Rachel wants to kill. And then Tobias is like, yeah, I do have an idea. And they don't fill us in on the idea too much because they want to keep it a surprise.
We kind of know. I guessed.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a plan. It's going to be risky, but it involves two people turning into Hork-Bajir.
Yes. And so they're like, oh, okay. And then Jake's like, I'll do it. And
Rachel jumps in right away.
Yeah, Rachel's like, I'm one of them because I've done it before. And Jake's like, I'll do it. And Tobias is like, no, I'm going to do it. So
nobody said anything for 30 seconds.
Yes.
They just stared. They stared with wolf eyes and bear eyes and tiger eyes and all four Andalite eyes. They were trying to decide if I was crazy.
You will?
Rachel asked.
You will?
Yeah, I will. I'll morph into Cat. I'll morph into a Hork-Bajir.
Then Rachel clicked. The Ellimist? That's what he did for you? I thought he was going to make you human again. There was an edge of anger in her tone, of outrage.
Ellimist. Axe practically spit the word. Never trust them.
Oh no, Cassie whispered. That's it. He gave you back the power to morph, but not...
No. I said as evenly as I could. Looks like I'm a full member of the team again. I can morph. But I guess... I mean, it looks like I'll still be a hawk. I'll still be keeping my wings.
Damn. That's damn.
Though, that's not bad.
No.
And the initially, when I kind of got a little bit of... When I was reading Tobias's Rage, I didn't quite understand it at first because I was that's great. That's the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
Because you love being a hawk. You want to be a hawk for more than 2 hours.
Right.
Right. You love that world, and you can be a human again for 2 hours. You can be anything again for 2 hours.
You can help the team again.
Right. You can be a part of the team. So this seems great. Why are you upset? But I think it's because he feels the need to be upset. I think he feels the need to the group to be human.
Yeah.
I think he's convinced himself of that.
Yes.
But deep down inside, I don't think he believes it. I think he still is okay with being a bird.
Yeah.
But here it was confusing to me because he seemed genuinely upset that he just couldn't be human, and I didn't get that.
I think the Ellimist knows him better than he knows himself because I think we all know Tobias would stay the bird.
Yeah.
He's had more purpose. He's been happier as the bird than he ever was as a human.
I want him to stay the bird too narratively.
Yeah.
I think it's a better story if he stays the bird.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely it is.
Like, even with this additional twist of Tobias can morph now, I still felt a little bit disappointed with the way that story was going, the way that arc was going, because I like restrictions in storytelling, and the idea of morphing is the anti-restriction. It frees it up. You can be anything. But if you're just a hawk, you have to find out clever ways to get out of situations. You have to find your stick.
Plus,
and like that stick scene would never happen if Tobias could just morph into like an elephant or a saber-toothed tiger or whatever. Like he would. There will never be that stick scene again.
But it was the ultimate proof that Tobias is a survivor.
Sure.
Like that he had made it through.
As a reader, I'm happy that he is happy now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that he got a win.
Yeah.
I'm glad he has a win.
It's not the win he wanted or it's not the win he expected, but it's a win.
Sure.
And it's purpose. You and I both hate when Tobias gets left out of missions. It sucks.
But as a reader, as a person who wants to pull apart the story a little bit, it's good for the story when Tobias has a bad day.
Yeah. Yeah. The best books are Tobias having bad days. Like, I would put this up there in top 5 for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, like, I guess I get it. There is a balance. Tobias can't have a bad day every day.
No.
Tobias needed a win. So, yeah, okay. Like, it's an interesting thing, and I'm glad to see at least progression in the story.
Yes.
Like,
it's a change in the story. And
it's a permanent change.
There are permanent changes.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
That is refreshing. It's not the go back in time, I'm going to turn into a Panther story that nothing matters. This story matters.
Yes.
So that's
and
good.
They put together their plan, which, should we just gloss over the plan? The details are not super important. Rachel turns into the Hork-Bajir.
Yeah.
Tobias turns into the female Hork-Bajir.
He does a little sword dance, I think, right?
Yes, they do their little sword dance. Ready? I asked her. She peered at me from behind alien eyes.
You okay, Tobias?
Sure. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, you haven't exactly had a great day,
she said. I laughed grimly. I'm a freak of nature, Rachel. Any day I stay alive is a good day for me.
Today's a good day to die.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. So his first book starts with, my name's Tobias, and I'm a freak of nature.
Yeah.
And he spends that whole book describing how awful and terrible it is to be a freak of nature. And in this moment, he reckons with and reconciles that he is a freak of nature and that that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, it's become his armor.
Yes.
Which is good and bad.
Yes, for sure.
Too weird to live, too strange to die.
Yeah. 685 million dead cops.
World is a fuck.
Yeah. So,
but like, yeah, no, it's good. He's taken ownership of his weird situation, his weird life, and I like it.
Yeah, and so Jake takes on the Tobias role, leading them past gunfire.
Does a shit job of it.
Yes.
Jake is awful at this. Because, like, there's a point where he's just like, Jake, left or right?
Yes.
Am I running left or right?
And
he
Jake
says, like,
guess.
left. Wait, no, my left. Right.
Yes. And so they get Their plan is to run to a ravine and jump in the ravine.
They're going to fake their own deaths.
Yes, they're going to fake their own deaths.
They're going to like jump off this ravine and, well, we'll get to what their full plan is.
Yes.
But like their plan is to jump off the ravine and convince everybody that they're dead.
And they get to the ravine, but there's one problem. One Andalite who was not Andalite at all. Visser 3 stood on the very lip of the ravine, right in my path. Hork-Bajir are fast, but the tail of an Andalite is faster. I couldn't win a fight against Visser 3. And 3 Hork-Bajir? No way. But then it suddenly occurred to me. I grinned. At least as much as Hork-Bajir can grin. I looked at Visser 3 right in his main eyes. Ket Halpak free! I yelled, using my Hork-Bajir voice. I charged straight at him, running flat out, ignoring the searing pain from my injured leg. Visser 3 watched me calmly for a couple seconds, then it occurred to him, too, just like it had to me. See? He might get me with his tail, and even kill me before I could get to the ravine, but my momentum would certainly carry me forward, and I would knock Visser 3 off the edge, too. That last second, Visser 3 dodged nimbly out of the way. Ket Halpak and Jerahami free! I shouted defiantly as I jumped off the edge of the ravine. I fell.
So, just to go over that scene again, he gets caught out by Visser 3. Visser 3 stared him down and is like, I got you, Andalite Bandit.
Yep.
There's no... sorry, not Andalite Bandit. We know it's Andalite
Hork-Bajir, yeah.
We got you, you stupid Hork-Bajir. We're going to...
Yeah.
You're going... There's no escape.
Rachel has already jumped.
Right.
Visser 3 gets in the way of Tobias.
Stares him down, plays a game of chicken with Tobias. Tobias comes running at him, and then he chickens out and dives.
Tobias wins every game of chicken in these books.
I mean, he is mostly chicken.
Oh!
Got him.
So they jump off the ravine.
And this is the best part. I love this part of this plan.
And Marco catches them. He's hiding in a cave, and he reaches out, and he grabs the falling Tobias.
Yeah.
Pulls him into a hidden cave.
This out comes Sloop, a big gorilla hand, and pulls him back in.
Rachel's in the cave. Visser 3 looks down the ravine and sees 2 Hork-Bajir bodies at the bottom of the ravine.
Clearly dead.
Clearly dead.
Crumpled on the ground.
Yes.
There are wolves eating these Hork-Bajir.
Yeah, they're
tearing out bits and pieces and chowing down.
Yes, just eating the fuck out of these Hork-Bajir. I heard cruel laughter in my head.
Fools.
Visser 3 sneered.
No one escapes the Yuck Empire. Clearly not a pair of idiot Hork-Bajir. Look at them down there, all of you. Look! That's what awaits anyone who tries to escape the Yucks.
He laughed a terrible laugh.
The wolves will give them both the burial they deserve.
The plan worked.
The plan worked. But here's the best part of the plan, is that they're actually just being eaten.
Yeah.
Like, Marco and Cassie now know what Jeremy and Ket Halpak taste like.
Yeah.
Because they're actually just eating chunks out of these non-morphine Hork-Bajir.
Yes.
They're like, they heal pretty quickly. I'll just take like a little shoulder.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's so gross. I'm eating my friend. That's a good plan.
We did this one.
We pulled it off, fellas. Rip. Chew.
Yeah, so after that, things kind of speed up. They lead the Hork-Bajir to the meadow.
So they go up to the meadow. They find the paradise.
Yeah.
Our bird Moses brought them to the promised land.
Yes.
And they're checking out this meadow, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, Cassie breathed.
Are we there? Jerahami asked me.
Yes, this is the place.
Good place, Ket Halpak said. Good place for Kawatnash.
What? Jake asked, puzzled.
I heard them use that word before. Jerahami. What does Kawatnash mean?
Jerahami and Ket Halpak laughed their strange Hork-Bajir laugh.
Kawatnash. Small Hork-Bajir. Small Jerahami. Small Ket Halpak.
Children.
Rachel translated.
They're going to have little baby Hork-Bajir.
They will be the first Hork-Bajir born into freedom in a very long time, Axe said. The Ellimist did not lie. The valley exists. No, he didn't lie, I said. Not about this, anyway. So, Marco he's got one question. Marco says to Jeremy, but look, I have to know. How do you tell a male Hork-Bajir from a female?
Jeremy looked puzzled. Male? Female, what's meaning?
Go ahead, Marco. Explain, Cassie teased.
But Ket Halpak understood.
Jarahami and Ket Halpak different. Jarahami have 3 here. She pointed at her horn blades. Ket have 2.
That's the only difference?
Marco asked. Other difference too, Ket Halpak said primly. But only for Hork-Bajir to know.
That got a laugh, even from Axe, which just puzzled the Hork-Bajir even more. So they're all laughing at this dick joke.
Yeah, they're all laughing at Hork-Bajir genitals, which apparently are just the same. Cool.
We have third hidden horn. Good for
Kawatanaj.
Kawatanaj.
I have Kawatanaj horn.
And you know what? Size doesn't matter for the old Hork-Bajir. They're all the same.
Yeah,
It's
man.
all just about stabbing.
Yeah, and
They probably do stab, don't they?
probably.
They probably cause some damage.
They probably, yeah. There's some rearranging of insides.
There's no need for genitals. It just goes right in.
Yes, absolutely. So that's how Hork-Bajir mate. They eat bark and they stab each other to make babies.
I just like the idea that everyone was having a nice hearty laugh about my dick down here.
Yes. And we get this Animorphs ending with Tobias saying, then I flew home to my own meadow, my own territory. The Hork-Bajir had their Eden. The others all had their homes. I had my meadow. So that is where a lesser book, I think, would have ended.
Yeah.
This is not that book.
No.
It's kind of like a knife twist and a victory at the same time.
It's an epilogue.
Yes,
and I like
a
epilogues.
denouement, if you will.
Sure.
See, I know big words too.
Epilogues, people use epilogue.
Yeah, but denouement's cooler.
It's French. I don't know.
Denouement.
Denouement. Whatever. I said burial. So it's not like
It's fine. It's fine. So there's a denouement, which is, I think, 1, striking, and 2, really fucking good.
Yeah.
Did you like the denouement?
Oh, no. I loved it.
So what happens was Tobias goes to sleep in his tree, and he wakes up the night before Elfinger crashed. And he sees the boy Tobias sleeping.
So this was the cover photo.
Yeah.
This is what that was. When
Yes.
there was a Tobias looking at a bird Tobias.
Yes.
That's this sequence.
Yes. The Ellimist takes him back to the night before. Tobias the bird wakes up Tobias the boy and acquires him.
And that was the thing. I was like, that would be a cool plot point if he could be human but never himself.
Yes.
They could have gone that way with it, but I like this too. I think it's nice for him to have his own DNA to go and
Yes.
be himself.
Yeah.
He can be himself for a second. And also the conversation that he has with himself, I thought was really nice too.
Yes.
We should probably read that, right?
Yeah. So I fluttered to the nightstand. The noise of my wings woke the sleeper. He blinked the sleep from his eyes and stared at me. A bird, he said.
It's just a dream, I told him. My heart was beating so fast that I thought it would explode. But at the same time, I felt a weird calm. Like I knew what was going to happen. Like it had already happened. Then I saw the calendar. It was a Star Trek calendar. I guess that's kind of funny. The date was the day before I'd walked through the construction site with Jake and Marco and Cassie and Rachel.
A dream? The sleeper sat up in his bed. He peered at me, and I saw a troubled expression in his eyes. I know you, don't I?
Kind of, I said. And I know you, Tobias.
How do you know my name?
I can't tell you that. But listen, Tobias, what could I say? What could I possibly say to my old self? I couldn't tell him that everything would be all right. I didn't know that. I couldn't tell him what was about to happen to him. No sane person would believe it. Besides, I had already forgotten this dream, hadn't I? Tobias, I said. Walk home with Jake. Walk through the construction site.
What? I just laughed a little sadly. Why had I told him to do that? Why had I sent him to the construction site? It was there that everything had begun. It was there that I had started down the path that led to my being trapped as a hawk. I knew the truth now. I could see it clearly. I was looking at myself, back when I was human. And looking at myself, I couldn't escape the truth. That wasn't me anymore. I wasn't Tobias the human. I had become something else, something new. What did the Ellimist said? You are a beginning. You are a point on which an entire timeline may turn.
Tobias, I said to the human, you should go back to sleep.
I am asleep, aren't I? This has to be a dream. If it isn't a dream, I'll never get back to sleep.
I can help you sleep, I said. Hold out your arm. Don't be afraid.
The human Tobias held out his arm. I flapped my wings, landed on him. I was as gentle as I could be with my sharp talons. I didn't need to dig them in. Simple contact was enough. Tobias's eyes began to flutter. He became dazed and passive, the way all animals do when they are acquired. I closed my eyes and focused on him, on the human DNA that was being absorbed into my hawk's body. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in my tree. Had it been real? Or was it all just some silly dream?
Don't forget.
A huge voice said.
2 hours, Tobias.
I didn't ask what the Ellimist meant. I knew. I had acquired my own human DNA, but it was just a morph. If I stayed in my old human body, I would be trapped in there forever, never again to morph, never again to be a hawk, never again to fly.
Have I kept my promise?
Yes, I said.
And are you happy, Tobias?
And he doesn't fucking answer.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have an answer.
No.
Right? Like, and are you happy is a hard thing to answer, especially when you got something that you didn't know you wanted.
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be vulnerable here for a second.
And I'm going to laugh at that vulnerability.
Probably. Reading through this again with you right now.
Yeah.
Gave me fucking chills.
It's a good scene. It's like, it's a conversation with yourself, which is hard to set up in a book, any book.
Yes.
It's also like this. He went back in time. This is what's implied, that he set himself up to walk through that construction site.
Yes.
And he was given a chance to change his path, change his mistakes, or what he thought was mistakes.
Yes.
And he didn't.
No, because he doesn't see them as mistakes anymore.
Right. He can't bemoan his existence. He can't wallow in his own depression and loss because he chose it now.
Yes.
This was a choice.
Yep.
This wasn't, I got trapped in a weird yuck pool for 2 hours and I made a whoopsie. This is now on him.
Yeah, this is, I'm taking this burden on. I've done this. This is who I choose to be.
And that's cool.
That's super cool. And I mean, we're not even done with the book.
Yeah.
So,
well, one more thing I want to do before we move on from that scene is there's something very powerful about going back into the future, having the opportunity to change your entire life, something that a life that you're not even entirely happy in, and saying, no, I'm good. And that's the happy ending. Not that he got the ability to morph back, because that's tangential.
Yeah.
I think like him going back and having that scene is the true reward, because that's his win.
Absolutely. And he uses this win, this choice, this power to morph, this power to be himself for just a little while. That totally stunt on a girl.
Hell yeah. No, he's smooth as fuck.
He's like,
Tobias is such a fucking player. I'm jealous.
So it's all very cryptic, but you kind of know where he's going. It's not like they're hiding it. Tobias mentions having to fly close to the school, morph human, hide, time everything just right. And the book ends like this, and I fucking love this. It says, Rachel was last in line. She was beautiful as always, and she had the usual Rachel swagger. I saw Cassie give her a wink as she walked by. Rachel rolled her eyes, self-mocking, and Cassie laughed. When she passed by where Marco was sitting, Marco made a phony bow. You know, like he was bowing before some idol. Rachel laughed and shook her head. And then she was right there in front of me. I saw her eyes sweep over me, indifferent, and then look past me toward the door. She stopped walking. She turned to me. Her eyes were wide.
Hi, Rachel.
I said with a human voice. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a good fucking ending.
That's a good fucking ending.
That is some Han Solo shit. Like seriously, that is the Han Solo undersells it.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta think of a better, cooler person.
Who? There's Tobias. It's a Tobias thing. Come on, let's give him credit.
Because like that shit, that is the most power play of like, I'm not gonna tell you I just turned into myself. Like,
yes.
You have given me up for dead.
Yes.
I'm not gonna tell you my plan. I'm just gonna show up to your dumb award ceremony Everyone's in line. They're
Yep.
saying, hi, what's up? I'm just going to be like the same thing. Like, hey, what's up?
You were sad for me. You took pity on me because I didn't get to be human like we both wanted.
And now I'm fucking king.
Guess what, bitch?
Guess what? I'm king now.
I'm king. Me, King Tobias. So, what did you think of the change?
Man, you know what? Like, at first, I didn't quite know what the change was. Because, like, that's the ending question to all these dumb podcasts. It's like, hey, what does it mean in the Predator, in the Capture, or whatever? In this one, I know exactly what the change is. And it wasn't that he got the ability back to morph.
No.
It's that he became fucking Swagger Bird Boy.
Yes.
He rolled up in that school. He said, hey, Rachel. And she just died.
Yes.
That's the change.
He fundamentally changed his outlook on his life like that. Like
Right. Because
that.
he made a choice now.
Yes.
It's not an accident that hit him in the face. It is now, I've changed my destiny.
Yes.
I had the opportunity I had the opportunity to change my destiny, and I said no. I want to stay exactly the same. I have no regrets.
Yeah. This is who I am. This isn't great. I live in terror at night, but this is my fucking life. I am not human. I am not bird. I am something better. I am both of them.
I am Bird Boy.
I am something else.
I'm
I am
Bird King.
I am a freak of nature.
Hell yeah.
That's a good fucking book.
You know what? Like, do you have anything else to say on this thing?
No, this book fucking rocks.
That's such a good fucking ending. I want to end this right now.